How's it going, everybody? I am Kyle from Fantasy Forge Studios, and we are joined with all of our players for session 76 of the Everlast role-playing game, The Adventures of Eclass. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start off with our players introducing their characters, starting with Zill.
Hello, I'm Max. I play Zill. Zill is many things. He is obnoxiously tanky, which makes things a lot of fun. He's kind of getting tired of fighting pirates because they don't listen to him. And it's like, guys, your options are help us or die. And then they try to fight back. It's like, okay, I warned you, you're dead. So he's trying to be better and not just start a fight every time, even though he kind of still wants to.
Guys just got a bunch of enchanted items. Might as well put them to good use, right?
Can take a hit like a champ. Owns a pet mouse named Waffle. Has a million nicknames. And by that I mean like 6. Just got the ability to destroy void stuff. So that's fun. Yeah.
That's good. I'm curious if we're going to be able to actually use it on the Void Crystal.
Yeah.
And what will happen if you use it.
I feel like I'm going to... It's my suspicion is it's going to work and I'm going to gain about 75 points of misery. That is my suspicion of what's going to happen.
It's going to work, but it's going to kill Zill.
The Void Crystal will be destroyed.
What a sacrifice.
For the sake of a sorrowful passion. That's good.
That's my guess. That is my intuition.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's pretty good.
We'll see what happens.
there's always more to be said, but there we go.
I love it.
You didn't say any of your nicknames.
I didn't.
He said that there's 6 of them.
Oh. You go back and watch. They're on YouTube.
They're in most of the episode introductions, and by 6 I mean there's actually only 5. But
It's okay.
pretty good. You
There's
can make
one
up
to
and
come.
save.
That means it's
I feel like I feel like Zill's overdue for a new nickname.
We'll have to figure it out.
Anyway,
Our next character is Luxalia.
Maybe.
Maybe. Hello. Is that just me?
Maybe.
Cole, talk again.
Oh,
Oh.
wait, did you lose me?
Yeah, we're good. You
You're
can hear it out.
glitching. You got lost in the Matrix.
In my back?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
back.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. I think I've learned that my computer.
oh boy.
Something about his computer. He learned. He needs a fan blowing on it. I
It
get
does.
it.
That's what I've got going right here.
Oh, hi, Cole.
We got a different camera angle though.
Oh.
Oh,
I think we're good.
Hello.
I think-
Yeah, there we go.
Hello. Yeah.
My back.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
It's okay. We'll be moving on from Vorpal Board here shortly.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of issues with it, unfortunately. Connor and I are gonna have to share a mic today, so that's good. It's good stuff.
I guess while
Um,
Luxalia is gone, while Cole's gone, we can go ahead and have Yuki introduce.
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Dane Reforged here at Fantasy Forge Studios. I play the character Mistletoe Yuki. She is a silver draken from the far north reaches of a city called Flamongolith in the Ravinian Peaks. And they're pretty cool in there. Hey, thanks for that, Britt. I've been slacking. Yeah, from the Ravinian Peaks. And she's pretty cool. Silver Draken are pretty rare. She's a bard character, and she, aside from just being like a normal supporty bard, she's actually a physical DPS, so she dual wields 2 broadswords, and she is a blade dancer class, which is pretty sweet. So she uses manic arts and whatnot to slice and dice the competition. So her along with Belbin are the physical DPS, while Zill is the tank and Luxalia is the support, and I guess Thordain's the support too. and it's pretty good. I would say she's the most charismatic of the group. And she's currently caring for her axe beak, Yukio, that she found in a sore state on this island. So that's Yuki.
Our next character is Belbin.
Yes. Hey guys, I'm Connor. I play Belbin. Let's see. Belbin is a Glyven from the Roku Horn. Grew up a little poor, a little rough around the edges. He doesn't like the fancy things of life. So I was actually just thinking about this. I wore my old jacket and it's got rips just like Belbin would wear. So channeling my inner Belbin today, he is a rough character, rough around the edges, rough to be around, rough in a lot of round ways. So yeah, he like Dane was saying, he's a physical DPS character. He likes punching things. He bowled a 300, and we're kind of on this pirate hunting adventure because of him.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I was going to say he's rough, especially around the edges, except for his smooth chest. Although, who knows? His waxing that he originally got when he was in Tuckai Town is probably no longer waxed.
It's like a little prickly.
It's
now.
grown back fuller. For those with beards, you understand. But yeah, that is Belbin, and our next character is Thordane. So Thordane is the DMPC. He is an elf of science, the captain of Alamnia's Breath, and two-time WrestleMania champion. He is a elf from the Woodland Realm and a ranger tracker, and so he uses all kinds of traps, healing lore, and he serves as the guide for the company as they make their way through the wilderness, particularly now through the wilderness of Aishan Island, which is a little bit crazy, kind of swampy and mountainous and jungly. So yeah, he's doing his part to try to make sure that Eclass doesn't get lost or eaten by giant crocodile alligator things. So yes.
So is this monster that's going through the mangroves the same crocodile that ate Captain Hook?
Could be. Only if you hear the mysterious ticking noise. Speaking of which, that's a very underrated ride at Tokyo Disney Sea. It's so good. Anyways.
What, the Peter Pan ride? Did you go on Peter Pan, Connor?
That was one that we didn't go on.
Okay, it's not worth it
It's
at
different.
Disney World. Yeah, it's good for kids, but it's not.
It's very, very different in Disney Sea. It is like one of the best rides in like both parks. It's so good. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I think we have Cole back. So, Cole, introduce Luxalia. I can see him moving, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
We can. Nice.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hi,
I
Cole.
am Luxalia. I am Cole, but I play Luxalia of the Silverwood. I also sometimes go by Happy Cray, or what was it? Unruffled Matsumoto. Yeah. Just why not? Not Luxalia, mind you, just me. She's the healer of the party. She's a shrine maiden of Amaterasu, who is a really cool guardian, who specializes in light. And there's a flower associated with her, and I kind of forget her story, but I know the Fate Weaver hasn't, so that's good. And yeah, that's Luxalia. She's a Glyven, foxy lady.
She's a foxy lady, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I am Kyle. I am the Fate Weaver. I am here playing both with and against these players as they make their name in Everlast, and seeing just kind of helping them to tell the story of the adventures of Eclass, essentially. Before we go into a little bit of details, Dane, do you have any announcements before we do jump in and begin?
Yeah, I mean we'll hit them at the end of stream. But yeah, this is the weekend, guys. On Sunday, we're going to be, at least in the Eastern Hemisphere, Monday. We're going to be releasing our official Everlast TCG store. So all of our products current and new will be up on the store. So we've been selling on eBay to our international customers, but we actually haven't had any means to sell the product outside of just the Kickstarters. But at Fantasy Forge Studios, the website will have them available for sale. So you can, if you're curious about the Everlast trading card game, you can go and buy anything from Heroes of the West, Raising a Helix, Knight of Martyrs, and Veil of Twilight. Speaking of which, Veil of Twilight and Knight of Martyrs release to the public on Sunday as well. So those of you who have been attending leagues as well as back to the Kickstarter have been opening and seeing Veil of Twilight and Knight of Martyrs, but this is the first time that the public will be able to access it, which is pretty cool. So check those out. That's coming up. We will also be selling on Amazon as well. So if those of you who like Amazon and want to get your cards via Amazon, will be able to sell via Amazon. We're working with TCG Player. I'm struggling with some bank stuff with them, but that will be our best place to buy singles of individual cards. So if you just want to buy individual singles, we'll be selling them via TCG Player. And then anything else? Oh yes, the biggest news, and this is actually more important, I think, in my opinion. We're going to be having the Everlast trading card game coming to Tabletop Simulator. Those of you who have it, you'll be able to play the game with anyone from across the world online, which is pretty sweet. So again, that's been the biggest downside of this game is since like we have pockets here and there of people playing. One of the biggest things is we want people to actually learn how to play, and it's tough if you don't have anyone to play with. So I know Kyle's been working really hard behind the scenes to get the Tabletop Simulator version of it open. But this way you can actually sit down and play the game with people instead of just being like, I have these cards and have no one to play with. It's a good opportunity to be able to teach people how to play the game, as we will have our EX Battle decks available to be played on there. And you can play as much Everlast TCG as you want. So it's a great opportunity to be able to play the game, even if you don't necessarily have anyone in person to play with right now. So
it's going to be a without the I believe right now Tabletop Simulator is $20 on Steam. But once you do that, you have not just access, we'll have free access to the Everlast TCG, including updates. We're going to try to update new content on there monthly, bi-monthly, whether that's like new table skins, things like that, to be able to play. But there's all kinds of other like tabletop games as well that other creators have made there. So it's kind of like a good investment if you like to play games online with people. Whether that's like to stream or not to stream, or just to, that's just the question, right? But we we're going to be having it available for free for everybody that does have Tabletop Simulator on Steam. And so there's a little bit, if you are unfamiliar with Tabletop Simulator, I will say the only things is do the tutorial. That basically teaches you all the shortcuts and everything, and basically it just requires some playing around to kind of understand things. I will say too, if you do want to play the Everlast TCG online, have a mouse that has a scroll wheel, a clickable scroll wheel. That's going to make your life a lot easier. As far as that goes, we are going to be having rooms in our Discord. So our Discord is going to be kind of geared a lot towards finding people to play with. There'll be chat rooms on the Fantasy Forge Discord where you can meet up with people and play them and have a actual chat with them on the Fantasy Forge Discord, which will be great. And so we're here to support the building of the community, to support everybody who does want to play it. And especially if you did miss out on any of the cards via Kickstarter, everything is basically, as far as Veil of Twilight and Knight of Martyrs and the EX Battle decks, they will be completely free to use on there. And then we'll also have like deck creation chats and whatnot. And we may even have some kind of like a monthly competitions about like deck building, and then maybe we can implement new decks from the community on a monthly basis onto Tabletop Simulator, so you guys can start playing some community decks as well.
And it may be the first place as well that we actually start doing tournaments for the Everlast trading card game too.
Exactly.
So those of you who are
I don't think trees can be on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, so those who are interested in playing competitively, obviously we have our league events, and we will start eventually doing league events. But for those of you who want to start like gaining points and accruing points and rankings and things like that, a lot of that at the beginning is going to be online because there's just going to be a bigger player base. So, yeah.
Very excited for it, and hopefully too. And like we've worked really hard to not just making it function and making it easy for you guys to use, but it looks really pretty. And so I am really excited. Like we have all kinds of like custom coins, custom dice, deck boxes. The tables are like completely custom and everything like that. And it's going to be very cool. I'm very excited. We've been having a great time behind the scenes, testing it out and playing. And hopefully you guys enjoy as well. And we can continue to foster an Everlast community here at Fantasy Forge Studios. So,
Cool.
yeah,
That's
it's a big
though.
weekend.
I can't
Big
think of anything
weekend.
else. Yeah. So Sunday. Join us
Mark it
on
your
Sunday.
calendars. And if you guys want to be there for the kind of official release of it, join me on my stream for Oblivion Remastered. We're going to try to do it after the stream. So,
Nice. Sweet.
which is going to be awesome. So, cool. And with that, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into a recap of the adventures.
Quick
thus far.
question, Kyle. Connor, tap your mic again. Can you hear that at all? No. But there's a button on the top. I don't know if I pressed that. Maybe try that. And if not, there's some dials on the back.
Yeah, I was trying the dials on the back. Sorry.
Okay.
I've got-
Sorry, we're just trying to figure Connor's mic out. Can't hear that.
No.
Okay, that's a bummer. All right. Anyways, recap.
Recap. Eclass Eeas is a group of adventurers who've made their way through pretty much the western half of the continent of Everlast and are now in the Inland Sea, a giant ocean that basically divides the two sides of the continent. But Eclass Eeas has, after defeating the archdemon Burbeldau, decided to go on a little bit of a vacation down to Aishan Island, and their vacation quickly did not become a vacation. They first fought a earth elemental and some cultists down at Terra Bay Island, where they discovered the elemental pillars, there are 4 elemental pillars, which are kind of the spots of creation of Everlast, where in Everlast, mana, which is kind of like the magical powers, but it is the spirit of Alamnia, kind of like the Holy Spirit that moves through the world, and they coalesce amongst these different locations. And the legend does say that these are like the points of creation in Everlast, and so they fought off this earth demon, this earth elemental, and became the keepers of the Earth Key, and that sent them on a wild adventure, chasing bandits through jungles, defeating cultist leaders, whether that's at Folden Rock or in on Aishan Island, or going and tracking down all kinds of people who can help them, which are King Ferrand and Aldreg Monteblair, who are the keepers of the Sky Key and the Sea Key. And they gathered together with Nalgoric Cragheim, the keeper of the Flame Key, and they discussed what is going on with the demonic activity and the recent disturbances in the volcano on Aishan Island. They went underneath the city of Flomberge, the Draken settlement, into the lost city of Ishalenthil, where they made their way through a dungeon, and discovered that Nazrahim, who is one of the great dragons of creation, had been keeping the spirit of the demon Lalathi at bay inside of him, drawing upon the power of the flame crystal in order to keep Lalathi from going out into the world. Eclass Eeas exorcised this demon, and Lalathi is now out and wandering, looking for a new host. But there is a host of issues that Eclass Eeas have had to deal with. The volcano erupted. Flomberge was decimated. Takai Town, which is the town basically that everything started at, got overrun by pirates, and the pirate Jackman Nobbs is basically out on a conquest of the seas. And so they're just trying to reclaim land where they can and preserve the life of the people here on Aishan Island and the world broadly. And they decided to retake Takai Town, which they came out with a plan to do so, and they were very successful in doing so. But there were pirates in the kerfuffle that abandoned Takai Town and fled into the jungle, and Eclass Eeas the following day decided to go track them down, to which they encountered a group of bandits, which they Belbin caused to fight amongst themselves. And the last 2 surviving, Jimmy and Bob, Master Bob, are now, as far as they know, part of the crew. And so they should be at their healing or the prayer service right now, as Luxalia recommended they do.
That was a wild turn of events.
Demanded.
By the way.
Not recommended. Demanded.
And so they decided to camp out the first night. And upon contemplation of Zill's new powers, he found out that he has the ability with a new rune that had appeared on him, rune by the name of Goric, gave him the ability to destroy corrupted Voidin trinkets, as far as he knows. And so he is wondering what that power can further be used for, but there were screams in the night that were heard, to which the next day they decided to go into the mangroves to follow another set of footprints, kind of off on the western part or eastern part of the island, and they discovered that those pirates had met an unfortunate end to some big, giant reptilian creature that is down there. And so, not wanting to deal with that, Eclass decided to flee northward, out of the mangroves and into kind of the more coastal areas of the jungle, to where they're going to reconvene with their footprints of the last group that split off of pirates, to hunt them down and either recruit them or put an end to them. And that is where we're going to go ahead and turn it over. So we Eclass have officially made it out of the mangroves, and by this point, it's probably around 4 p.m. the following day. So of the same day that you guys were in the mangroves, and so these pirates have about a day and a half lead on you, and you notice that the last set of footprints were trailing off northward. And so with that, it's kind of up to you guys how you want to go. If you want to go around the coast area, up here on the map, where you originally came was kind of through this mountain path, and then the first encampment was here, and then you went back down through the mangroves here, and you guys are currently where Belbin is right here. So you could either go this way up towards kind of the waterfall area that Belbin and Luxalia discovered before, or you could go back kind of to the mountain route and follow the tracks northward. If you do go this way, you will kind of be going blind and not really following tracks, and it may be quicker, but there's nothing to follow. So it'd kind of more be wandering. If you decided to go back, which you would have to cut your way and find your way through, which would just require some guide checks from Thordane in order to accomplish. It's up to you what you guys want to do in this moment. So currently the adventuring party right now, Yuki is back at Takai Town. So I'm going to have Yuki, Dane, if you will go ahead and play the part of Thordane right now. That would be awesome. And then we're going to have, so we got Zill, Luxalia, Thordane, and Belbin all together.
And what time does the sun set?
Sunsets
Roughly?
around 7:30 to 8. It's pretty much just like horizon, so there's no like real mountains. It sets a little bit earlier, kind of as you go on the eastern side of the mountains here. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's around 4 p.m., right? 4 p.m.? Yeah, 4 p.m. So you probably have about 4-ish hours of sunlight left.
Okay. Guys, I vote we go through the mountain pass.
I say
Then
we
we just-
follow the tracks.
Yeah.
Is that the
I
same
mean,
path?
That's the same path.
A clearly marked path sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Well, as clear as it can get out here.
Follow
Alrighty,
the yellow
you
brick
don't-
road.
We don't even care for your input because we have.
Follow
over
the
here-
yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Oh, sorry, Thornton.
Yuki, in the current circumstance, has not even given a care about her crew members, as she is just tending to the axe beaks. How are they doing, by the way?
Yes,
Max,
I'm going to
please.
have you make a knowledge skill check for me, as you are using your healing expertise in order to mend them.
What healing expertise? 12 plus knowledge, you said?
Yep.
15. So pretty good.
It's kind of more just allowing them to rest, and so you're spending quite a bit of time. None of the axe beaks seem to have any like broken limbs or anything, but there are gashes and scars and cuts. And so outside of just mending those wounds, you're kind of more there to mend the mental trauma that they've been through through the ringer of whatnot. And Yukio
Also-
has kind of become more of the bird that he was prior to the incident.
Perfect. The other thing that she wanted to do while they were gone,
Mhm.
or while they are gone, is to get a group of people to go back to the Colosseum and see if they can find any surviving axe beaks. So
Okay.
we don't have to role play that right now, but that's
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
she was also planning on doing. Thordane interjects and says, "Oh yes, these footprints are very easy to follow. We could follow those, or we could risk it and go on the beach."
I'd follow the footprints.
All right, off follow the footprints.
So basically, at this point, you're gonna have to cut through the mountains in kind of like the back route that you guys haven't gone through. Thordane does have some decent travel expertise, so I'm gonna actually have him as the guide make a knowledge skill check as he tracks his way back to your guy, or leads the party back to the original area that the footprints diverged.
10.
As you forge your way through the jungle, it's probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours before you actually get back to the location. It's decently easy to see, kind of using the mountains as your compass, and there's this one kind of like large mountain that you use as a kind of your center. You're able to make your way up kind of some rocky cliffs back to this area through the first encampment, and from that point it's easy to get back to the primary location. But as you do walk through, the weather has been pretty nice today, and so the tracks themselves haven't been like washed away or anything, but you can definitely tell like the muddiness of them has definitely firmed up, and these are you can definitely tell like a couple days have passed since these tracks have been through. No basically backtracking other than your own footprints that you guys have been making through the jungle. And with that, you guys come back to the original location, finding the tracks. And what are you guys deciding to do? I know follow the tracks, but so as far as the party composition goes, we have Thordane as the guide. We have Belbin as the hunter. We have the lookout is Zil, and then Luxalia is the Hearthbinder, I believe.
Sounds
Or
right.
scout.
Yeah.
Belbin, I'm gonna have you make a wisdom skill check. So essentially, the job of the scout is to kind of stay around the general vicinity of the party, but kind of to go like off track and kind of look ahead to see what's going on while still keeping track of the party. So
17.
17. As you go and look around, you can actually see probably about after 30 minutes of walking, the party is following these tracks. You see that there is an area up ahead where there are two sets of basically differing tracks. As you examine them, you notice that one set of tracks seems off, almost as if one of the sets of tracks is just like one person that had gone off, but it looks like this person is limping. Basically, you have like one footprint and then a drag, one footprint and a drag, one footprint and a drag, and they seem to have just like completely gone off track. Not like there was like any scuffle or anything that happened, but like they separated from the group initially without being noticed and no following. And this wisdom skill check that you made allowed you to find this basically going down kind of the side of the mountain more towards the beach area, as opposed to keep following the mountain pass north.
Okay. Can I tell if the tracks happened at the same time, or if one set of tracks is older than another?
Make a knowledge skill check for me.
Oh, that's 2 15s. Knowledge, that will be non-natural 16.
That they definitely seem to be the same age.
Okay. Okay. Are you asking where I'm wanting to go?
Well, I mean,
what
you have this
direction I'm wanting to
information, so you're
follow?
you're probably
Okay.
about like 5 minutes ahead of the group. But basically, you're
Okay.
just gathering information up ahead for the party to
Right.
be able to follow. So you basically are an information broker
Yeah.
to them.
Since can I see like at the possible path that the limper went? Like, is there a clear path down the mountain or anything?
It's not clear. It looks
No.
like it goes into some shrubberies, and there's a pretty. It's a pretty steep decline, but you can tell like this person probably tried to slide to a degree down the mountains, and so there's kind of some rubble and stuff that have been moved aside. But it's overlapped with all kinds of overgrowth as well, and so you can follow it for sure. And with probably some decent tracking checks, you may be able to find where this goes. But definitely the clearer set of paths are where there are more footprints for sure.
Okay. I'll go back to our party and just kind of tell them what I found, tell them about this limper, and see which way they want to go. Yeah.
Okay. You make your way back to the party and catch up with them and inform them.
And hey guys, I have this weird feeling that if we don't do something about this limper today, that he might be dead tomorrow. I don't know if that should play into anything, but depends on how much pyre hunting we want to do. If we want to do more pyre hunting, we might want to get this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If nothing
But
else,
If we don't go after him, then we might lose a whole nother group.
I guess that lets us know what our priorities are: one guy or a group.
Although the one guy is injured, and maybe we could offer him aid and assistance and then recruit him and, save his soul for all of eternity. What to do? What?
What to do indeed.
What to do?
I'm sorry, Cole. Your mic is a little bit slow. Cutting out a little bit, but that's okay. What to
Well,
do?
I
What
think
to
he's
do?
cutting out. Or if we want to, we either try to convert him or he's easy hunting. Depending on if I want more practice with my kunai. Zill, I don't know. It's up to you. It's
why does it
Masalia's
have to be
gone.
up to me?
because Uxalia's gone.
Well,
Roll a dice or something.
I mean, as much as I want to look into the guy who's limping, I think it does make the most sense to go after the bigger group.
As you guys are conversing, you eventually come to this point where Belbin shows you the where the set of again, it's a very well hidden set of tracks that they seem to have just slipped off in the middle of the group or at like the back of the group during this time. But there are 5 sets of footprints that go one direction and one set of footprints that go basically off the side of the cliff.
Off the side of the cliff.
Kind of.
He
It's
was,
a pretty
he was trying
steep
to
decline.
slide down. Yeah, he was trying to slide down.
It's. I mean, are we? If he's trying to slide down a cliff while limping, or was he limping at the bottom of the cliff?
Yeah,
I think that's
there's
a
no way to
problem.
tell. There's too
Yeah.
many like foliage that like covers over. It's literally sliding down like a bit of cliff into like a jungle, and then eventually past that there's a beach.
I don't know. I'm wondering if he even made it to the bottom of the cliff.
If he just made it to the bottom, though, we could just check really fast.
Yeah, I guess. What, do you want to jump down there,
Yeah,
Belvin?
Bone's a good climber.
Can I just push you off?
How tall is this cliff?
It's difficult to tell. Like I said, there's so much overgrowth that makes its way over to like over the top of it. It's really difficult to tell. I'm gonna have you make a wisdom skill check. as you look down and try to just assume the drop distance?
5.
I mean, you can see a small part where like he like did slide down it. You don't see any blood, but you do see kind of where some of the rubble, but it kind of vanishes below the trees. If you make a dexterity check, you may be able to go down there pretty unscathed, potentially.
I think I'm gonna go down. Zill, I'm not gonna let you push me though.
Oh
I'm just gonna
man.
down climb it.
But I wanted to.
Maybe next time.
Oh, okay. I'll hold you to that.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Belvin's going for it.
I'm going to have you make a dexterity skill check. Actually, a dexterity survival check, or agility survival check.
20.
20. You easily make
Ooh.
your way down it. Basically kind of like boot surfing right down the edge into the jungle. It goes down a decent amount, but it's pretty gradual once it gets to the bottom. You do see that at the bottom of this area, person seems to have gotten up and has limped away. There's no one directly at the bottom. So, with that, do you want to continue to keep following them into the jungle or to go back up?
Yeah, I'll hit it at a jog though.
Okay, cool. And with that, are you planning to stay stealthy at all, or just go and confront if you do happen to run into this person? Just confront them as you are.
I'll be keeping an eye on the tracks to see if I can tell when they look to be a little like newer or closer, but I'm not being stealthy until I think I might get close.
Cool. Make a knowledge skill check for me as you follow these tracks.
6.
6. You seem to lose them every now and then, but you're able to pick this trail back up. This person is clearly not trying to hide themselves, and there are plenty of like broken branches and twigs to where you can generally find an idea of where basically these tracks lead off to. That is until you see a light coming through a clearing, and you bust through it out onto a beach. So you have made your way officially out onto the beach, and you see somebody just staring out into the waves with their back facing you.
Can I tell their like general size? Are they big, small, medium?
They have a
Scrawny.
relatively medium build, but they seem weak.
Okay. I'll go up and get closer.
Okay.
But being stealthy.
Okay.
And try to see if I can get a better view, see if this is the guy with the bum leg.
Make a stealth check for me.
The dice are not falling.
Oh,
7.
no.
As you get closer, you notice that there seems to be a red bandana wrapped around this guy's head, but it's not like the traditional way. It kind of seems to be going like halfway, like across, kind of like a diagonal look, as if he is like kind of like covering up half of his face. And you see that he, with a stick, seems to be drawing, still like gazing forward out into the waves. With a stick, he seems to be doodling something into the beach. The sand.
How close am I?
Probably about 30 feet out. And he hasn't noticed you. He seems pretty oblivious.
Okay. I'll walk up behind him, probably 10 feet away.
Okay.
And say, "What are you doing there, buddy?"
Make an influence skill check for me.
Love that name.
12.
Who are you? Clearly someone who knows you.
I think it's one of my students.
Sounds like it.
You say
Who
this,
found me?
and he said, and then he basically replies, "Oh, looks like the jig is up." He doesn't break his contact with the waves, and he stops drawing. And he doesn't have contact. He's like, "If you're gonna do it, do it quickly."
What are you talking about? You think I'm here to kill you?
It's either you or them.
Who's them?
He turns around, and you see that he has severe burns all over him. This is probably one of the pirates from the ships that were set ablaze by the Glyphex cannon.
At this point, do we just put him out of his misery?
Thordain's there. He's got purple.
Who's
Thordain
them?
is not there. It's just Belbin at the moment.
And it's just
Yeah.
Balbin. So I don't think we followed.
Who is them? What's your name?
His voice is very rattly, almost as if, like, you don't know if it's, like, from, like, the trauma of everything that's going on or, like, smoke inhalation or whatever the case. But he looks to you and he says, "What does it matter? What does any of this matter?" And he stands up and he faces you. He doesn't have any weapons or anything, and he, like, holds his hands out and he says, "If you're going to do it, do it."
All right, Belvin is going to. Hold on. He is going to tackle him to the ground, grab him by the legs, and start dragging him back towards our party.
Okay.
Make a strength skill check for me. Or physical skill check. Physical skill check.
Okay. Does Belbin have to roll again, or is he just choosing to?
16.
You
Not
easily
natural.
do so. He fights you a little bit at the beginning, but just gives up. And basically he just, like, lays back down on the sand as you just, like, take his leg and, like, just drag him behind you. And he just, as you're doing so, he begins to just kind of, like, hum to himself. This guy seems kind of, like, out of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hit it at a
Oh,
jog
my
too, so
goodness.
we're moving.
Okay. The question is how you're going to get him back up the cliff.
I have a grappling hook and rope.
Do you have a grappling hook? Okay. I was gonna say, you eventually get to the cliff face and you look up and he is just kind of like, not delirious, but just like he seems in his own world as he begins to just kind of like hum to himself, and like a few like lyrics come out here and there, but like it's nothing intelligible. Like he seems to like have been going mad. You take your grappling hook and throw it to find a place of basically perch. I'm gonna have you this was going to be despair, but because you are using a grappling hook, I'm gonna have you make a dexterity skill check, just normal for me.
Roger that, Cole.
12.
12. You do so with some difficulty. And the rest of the group, you begin to hear, probably after about less than 20 minutes, the sound of movement back up the cliff. And you eventually see Belbin, which he has one arm, like, with this grappling hook, and he's just, like, pulling himself up with one arm as he's just dragging this dude behind him with the other. This is definitely not the
Oh
best way to
my
do it. It's almost like he's like trying to cause this guy as much pain as possible. But
Oh no.
Belbin climbs up this cliff and basically throws the guy over to deal with.
And I'll say, guys, look who I found.
Luke Solly's gonna pipe in. Oh my goodness, do we need to tend to his wounds?
He looks up at the rest
Why don't
of
you
and
ask him?
You can see that he's there, and he kind of like smiles and he says, "Everybody now. Yo ho, yo ho, pirate's
bends
life
down.
for me."
Ordain bends down and slaps him across the face and says, "Snap out of it, man." Let's see. You've got wounds here. Look, Solly, attend to this one. I think I could make a salve and put it on here. At the very least, he'll have some scarring, but maybe he'll get along well with the Kalik.
And
I just Zill looks at him. Some scarring? Some? I think he's gonna have a pretty. It's a good battle wound. Come up with a fun story for it.
And as you try to mend his wounds, he kind of like fights you a little bit and is like chuckling, and he's like, No, I don't need any of that. Just get me some rum.
Should we give him some of the rum of ages?
Liquid medicine is the best kind of medicine.
No. You need real help, sir.
All the help that I need is a quick death. put me out of my misery. Yo ho, yo ho.
Thornton slaps him again across the face and says, "Stay with me, man." He's acting like he's like an ER8 like patient who's just on the verge. He's like, "I know all these symptoms. He's delirious." And Luxalia chimes in and is just like, "You need Lamnia's help. We have a couple of your friends who are going back to the service, and you need to go join them."
A pirate has no friends. A pirate lives a life just for himself. Rum, jewels, the open sea. I'm gonna have a Thordane make a knowledge skill check for me.
Real good is what it is. Knowledge. 19.
You have noticed outside of just like his just general wounds, primarily the reason he's acting like this is he's probably severely dehydrated. If anything, you think he's probably drank some salt water.
Oh no.
We need to get some liquid into you, young sir. And he reaches
Yes,
into his bag.
yes, rum.
What you need is a Lamnia.
Yes, Luxalia, you can get that later. First, he needs some water. And he takes out like a canteen and starts pouring it down his gullet. And he's doing what he can to like cool him. So what does he have? I think he has like, come back to me about that, but he's just gonna look through his inventory and see if he has anything cooling that he can.
As you
He
pour
can
this
wear.
water down his throat, he doesn't seem to be fighting it, but he seems to have difficulty drinking it. Primarily because it seems like there's also damage done to his throat. And so this is painful for him as he does so, and he takes this in. He does do so. There's no immediate change, but you've hydrated him to a degree.
This day forward, you will no longer be a pirate, but a child of a Lamnia. You need a Lamnia and water.
I'm not a child of
I'm just
Lamnia.
Cole's
I'm-
text-to-speech, apparently.
I am a child of Bertha Biggins.
Wow, your mother has a wonderful name, but you need to. And he pulls out a. So, quick question: is it the burn? Is he burned or is
Yeah,
he
I mean it's
exhausted?
definitely like burned skin, like it's a mixture of things. But like the reason he's acting the way that he is he is dehydrated.
He's dehydrated.
But he's
And
also
what
like
kinda-
pretty bad condition too.
What would heal that aside from just water?
Salves would go like basically like spreadable paste from medication. So anything that's like a salve would help to cure this.
But not like, for example, if Thordane force fed him a simple healing potion to heal 10 hit points, that wouldn't do anything.
It could. It would
To help.
restore. It would restore hit points. But what he's really suffering from is burn status ailment, like severe
Yeah.
burn status ailment. So unless you have anything to remove that.
Can Cole bestow a blessing?
Yes. I'm gonna have Luxalia go ahead and roll a piety skill check.
Cole, am I rolling for Luxalia, or are you typing it?
What is Everlast equivalent to baptism?
Well,
baptism?
What kind of skill check is it?
It's a piety skill check.
11.
Got it. Sweet. I believe in you. Belbin, what are you doing in the meantime?
Oh, Cole got a nat 16. Cole is still rolling for Luxalia.
Sweet.
So ignore my 11.
I'm watching this whole thing go down. I just have kind of stood back. I'm waiting for them to see what happens with this guy. Maybe I'll go ahead and start scouting out the other footprints.
Zill is just
Luxalia,
taking in the show.
Wait,
Luxalia,
what time is it, by the way, now?
Yeah, it's probably close to 6:30 at this point. Yeah, you're definitely like you no longer have sunlight, but like the sky is still kind of lit with like purple orange. So you have like light still, but no direct sunlight anymore. But
Okay.
Luxalia, she kneels down over this guy, Mr. Biggs, and she begins to take out what look to be kind of the set of oils and begins to bless him. And she begins to start speaking Glyven, in kind of the traditional like Glyven rites. And she removes kind of like the bandage on his head a little bit to reveal his forehead as she basically presses her thumb down on it. And you see that like this guy has like severe damage, like to the point where like his like face just like looks completely melted. His eye is like no longer really there. It's just like kind of like swollen over and pustuous. And as Luxalia begins to bless him, his kind of delirium seems to subside, and he closes his eyes and he goes still.
Luxalia,
takes his, pulse.
Luxalia, did you just kill him?
Luxalia kind of like looks at him for a while, and with that piety skill check, she begins to feel kind of this warm sensation, almost to the point where she and only her can kind of see like this like faint glow around this guy, while Thordane takes Mr. Biggs's pulse, and there's no longer a pulse. And slowly it begins to fade, this kind of light in Luxalia's eyes, and she says, "He has gone to a better place, but we shall pray for his soul. He lived a terrible life of pirating." And she closes her eyes and thinks for a bit and says, "Alamnia, if it is your will, take him into your kingdom."
Well, that just happened.
Yeah, there's a dead pirate.
Thordane says, "Thank you, Luxalia. I'm glad I didn't use my salves on him. If he was this close to death."
Luxalia, I'm kind of new at this. Should we bury him?
I think it is only right that we should. If anything, maybe we kind of leave him somewhere where we're able to find him again, and maybe bury him later, because I think the longer we delay, the more of a chance we come across losing our quarry. But we need to give him a dignified burial.
Okay.
She looks to the group of you and says, "Okay. No more to be done about this. It is out of our hands now. And Thordane, you should have a little bit more respect for the dead. Don't be concerned about yourselves."
I'm just saying it would have been a waste. I will pray for his soul. I was just hoping he would be a Kalik best friend when he got on board Alamnia's Breath.
Just because they're both burn victims?
Birds of a feather, as they say.
I think they have a little more in common than being burn victims.
They're both burn victim street rats?
Yes. that is shockingly uniting, let me tell you.
Yes, well...
Either way,
at
he has
the
a
very
greater
least-
dignity and as Alamnia's son. We must treat him with that even in death.
We will bury him.
Yes, Belbin, help me put him into the bush over there.
I'll roll him. Roll him on over.
Luxalia just kind of like face palms a little bit, and she's just like, "You boys need to be more gentle with the dead. I know he can't feel anything, but it hurts my soul to see you treat him so badly."
You should have seen him being drugged through the jungle before when I was running with him.
Maybe that's what killed him. The blunt force trauma, that'll do it.
Blunt force trauma, baby.
Don't sound so excited about that.
Did you disappear?
You did. But you're on the street, so you're good.
Okay, you are too. I see myself. I don't see you.
Yeah, it's weird. The same thing happened to me.
Where? Okay.
Oh man.
Thordane-
Vorpal board causing issues.
I can see you guys, both of you, so you guys are good.
Okay.
Well, off to the other pirates? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's head on.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm going to have Thordan go ahead and make a knowledge skill check. The sun is getting lower, and by the time you really start moving, it's really, like I said, purples and oranges in the sky. Pretty little light. And there's not like a super clear path, but it's pretty easy to follow the footprints still. Following 5 groups of footprint, like 5 sets of footprints is all together especially is pretty easy.
15.
15. You begin to follow for about another 45 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and use Thordain's tracker. So you guys have made your way down this direction, eventually until you get up to, you begin to hear the sound of rushing water. You're getting nearer to the waterfall, at least closer, and this is about as far north in this area that any of your company have gone to this point. I'm gonna have.
Oh yes. What do my elf eyes see?
You look down, kind of into a kind of a lagoon area, a small little crystal blue water. You can see that there are some fish down, just kind of skimming below the surface. This would be very much a good place to be able to set up camp. But as you look around, you don't see any signs of setting up camp. And as you look at the tracks, you follow them down to the water's edge, and they just vanish. Oh, I don't think I can hear anybody. Oh, no. We lost our players. You can't hear me either? Okay. We're going to go ahead and go on a quick break as we figure this out. I don't know what's happening, but we'll go on a very quick break, okay?
I don't know unless it's. I've got 2 or 3 good guesses.
Can you hear us, Britt? Let us know. Sorry, you were muted. Go ahead.
No, Asher is not going to show up. I'm keeping him off the event.
For all those young ones out there watching, as much as possible. Okay. Oh goodness.
Cole says he can hear us. He just texted me.
All right, I don't know if Kyle's here.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know either. There's some sweet music playing though. Okay, we'll go on mute till he gets back, I guess. Okay.
I think we're back. Are we good? I was hearing some chatting while I was
Yeah,
checking
we're
on the
back.
dog.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Hear us?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Okay.
Sweet.
I think we're good. I think we've solved everything. But the last thing I said before you guys all went dark was the tracks disappeared into the edge of the lagoon.
The tracks. Oh no. The tracks disappear into the lagoon.
Does that mean we'll have to fight this monster?
No, I'm not starting my kid on the internet young.
No. But does this mean, Zill, I think you should go in with your breathing and take a look what's under the water.
Was afraid you were gonna say that. Okay.
And
I
that
mean,
just
it
goes
looks-
true
it
north,
looks-
right?
Yeah, it's like due north, like straight north.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And Luxala, she says, "Hey, it's better than the mangroves. I mean, the mangroves were clear, but there were like lots of trees and stuff. This is like open water. I think you'll be able to see. I mean, it is getting dark, so maybe it's a little bit difficult."
Yeah, I'm not worried about seeing. I'm worried about getting eaten.
Oh, don't worry. You've got lots of armor for that.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I think
If you
you're the
want, I can give
person
you
who
a
should
bowling ball.
not worry about it. Yes, take Belbin's bowling ball, and you can bowl underwater.
It'll help you sink to the bottom.
That's true. It's like rocks in your jacket.
Good point. Okay, I'll go. I jump in the water.
As you do so, it is freezing cold water. This isn't like the warm water of like the beaches and the ocean. And you immediately begin to kind of like seize up. And you have to remember too, it's probably like early November as well, which I guess doesn't mean a whole lot considering Ishan Island's still pretty tropical, but it is very cold, like pure like waterfall water coming out here. And you look around and you see the fish kind of scatter as you kind of splash inside. And as you look around, I'm going to have you make a wisdom skill check for me.
Oh.
It's going to be with despair.
Oh no. Oh, why did you have to say that? It wasn't good in the first place, and then it got worse. 6.
6. It's clear water, but you don't see anything. You just see some fish every now and then. No big fish or scary creatures that are here. It just seems perfectly calm. And obviously there's no signs of pirates too in here.
Is it a calming calm or a suspicious calm?
It's pretty calm.
Okay.
You can take that however you want it to be. A
I'm
6
just
doesn't
gonna
give
go
you a
back-
lot of wisdom insight.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back and like, well, it's calm.
Well, if it's calm, do you see footprints in the muck?
I will say this: it is deep water, and so like it kind of
Okay.
it's shallow, kind of around like the banks, but probably towards the center of it, it gets to about 20, 25 feet deep. You definitely did see that.
It got very deep.
And no bodies, I'm assuming.
Not that I could see. I didn't see a ton.
All right.
There were some
Thordane,
fish.
Thordane will call out in a jovial voice, "Are there any pirates alive?
I saw no pirates, dead or alive.
Make yourselves known if you are here."
Oh, he's not speaking to me.
Make an influence skill check for Thordane.
We don't.
Oh, that's pretty good. I don't know if he's very influential, but that was a good roll at least. Influence? Oh, he's not influential. That's a 14.
As you call out, there is a rustle in the bushes up on the cliff, and a large parrot flies out of it.
Nice. A
Right, talking
parrot.
to it.
Yes, there, you parrot up there. Can you speak ever speech?
It's flying
and
away.
then Zill calls out, "Or Draken." In Draken.
And Belbin, maybe you should go up to the top of that cliff and see what rattled those bushes other than that bird.
Okay.
Belvin makes
That
his
one's
way.
going up.
Belvin makes his way over to the edge of the cliff, and you begin to climb. It depends where you decide to climb. Let's see. I think this. Yeah, it depends where you climb. Closer to the waterfall is obviously going to be more slippery, but the bush is kind of like right along the side where like the waterfall itself like is. You can try to go up and around, and that'll make your check DC a lot less. But it's completely up to you. You can go straight for it, or you can make your way around the side.
How tall is the waterfall?
The waterfall extends probably up 200 feet. It's huge. It literally just comes off of the side of this cliff, like into the mountains.
Holy cow. I'll take the long way around.
You begin to climb, and as you do so, you can't really tune into your hearing at all. The waterfall just deafens everything around you. I'm going to have you make a dexterity skill check for me.
14. 14.
It's a pretty easy climb. You can tell, like, not a lot of creatures, maybe outside of monkeys, have really scaled these cliffs.
Are you going to befriend these ones?
And they're nice and firm foot grasps and handholds to be able to shimmy your way across. And as you basically go like up vertically, kind of where you're like horizontal with it, and you start making your way kind of sideways along the cliffs towards this bush. And there's like this kind of jut out as you make your way and step foot onto basically this cutout, which again it's deafening as far as like this waterfall. And so not necessarily that it disorients you, but as you get your like firm footing, you look around, and I'm gonna have you make an agility survival check for me.
Oh boy. Whew. Nat 16 for a 23.
Oh!
You see something moving quickly in your periphery as two sets of hands come and try to pin you down where you're at. You're able to dodge out of the way, and you can see that there are two pirates that are here. And they are basically like kneeling, trying to like grab you and bring them. You see that like back behind them, there's a path that goes back behind the waterfall.
Okay.
So it's like not visible from like down below, but somehow they climbed up here onto this cliff, and there's kind of like this bush that obscures kind of like this ledge, and you are like directly behind this bush, but you're able to dodge them immediately. I'm gonna give you a split second to tell me what you're
Can
doing.
I do
now.
a deadly counter? Can I try to counter them?
You can absolutely try to
Oh.
counter them.
Countering them, baby.
Okay, so there's two people. Which one are you gonna do? They're both relatively the same. They have like bows, like that look like they were drawn and like in like one hand. One person has dropped their bow altogether, and one person's still grasping on with like their left hand, and like the arrows like in like their like in between like their fingers as they're like just trying to grab you, and they just like you hear kind of like the scuffle, but they're quiet enough, and with the waterfall, there's no way anyone below is going to be able to hear like what's going on here. The scrap.
Okay. I'll go for the guy with the bow.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Another nat 16.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's max damage. As you just unleash fury upon this guy.
Oh, man.
That will be 30 points of damage.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you need to know what kinds of damage,
No.
or
I don't.
Is there anything left of this guy?
You dodge out of the way, and the one with the bow is just like, no, pin him down, pin him down. As Belbin, you just basically like step back, and then you just brute force him directly like in the nose and the face, and the guy just goes cold. Just, and he just like slumps over and falls as you just like look kind of like with this feral look at the other guy. The guy goes, what kind of animal are you? As he backs up and as he tries to reach down for his bow, and he like fumbles with like the arrow.
Tackle's a good way to describe him.
Yeah, Belbin's gonna go for the tackle.
Okay, go ahead and make an endurance skill check. This is going to be contested.
Oh man. You just could basically like step back.
That's an 8.
It's a 4.
He pushes you off as he says, Captain! Captain! As he runs, he just like books it back on that path along the waterfall. It's pretty narrow. I'm going to actually have him make an agility survival check to see if he's good. He makes it. If you want to pursue him, feel free. If you want to let people know, it is completely up to you what you want to do in this moment.
From where the rest of the camp was, did they have a pretty good view of the waterfall?
So they're behind the waterfall.
No, but the rest of like our guys, like
Oh,
Zil,
yeah, I mean, you can, like, look up. Again, it's getting dark, so maybe Thordane would have the best, like, view of it. But it's pretty dark, and, like, there's a bush completely obscured this ledge, so no one can see anything that's happening. And the waterfall is, like, blocking, like, the vision of, like, back behind. So as far as they know, they see you disappear behind this bush and nothing.
So they would have seen me, like, climb up and disappear behind the bush.
Yeah.
Belvin's gonna take the dead body and throw it over the edge.
Okay, you do so. And the body comes hurling down, and as it impacts, just splats. This is a very far climb, probably about 80 to 90 feet up the cliff. And you just, this body just falls onto, I mean, it's kind of sandy, but it just splats and just very grotesque.
With that, I'll start pursuing the other guy.
Make a dexterity skill
did
check
this
for me.
fall close enough to Zil and Thordane?
Oh, yeah, like, you guys just see this body flying, and at first, your immediate reaction is Belbin, and then it's just like, nah, this isn't Belbin, as, like, a pirate body comes flinging down.
I'm going to just look at Thordane and Luxalia. I should probably get up there.
I got a 10 on my dexterity check.
Okay. You, not easily, but you make your way along, like, kind of like this very, like, slick cliff edge as, like, the water continues to cover it. And you look back and you see a small fire with some pirates, and you see a set of 4 bows aimed directly at you, and you hear a voice that says, I would stop right there if I were you.
I'll stop.
Good. And the guy who's speaking, he puts his bow down, and the other 3, they have their bows basically knocked, and he walks out along the ledge to very confidently to confront you. He keeps a little bit of distance so as not to get like jumped on, but he has a hand on a cutlass to his side, and he looks you up and down, and he says, I recognize you. And he like he has a very kind of like unkept like facial hair, and he says, I think you would make a good pirate. Nobody gives you orders or tells you what to do, right?
They do, but I don't listen.
Hey, Cole's back.
Heh.
Hey, there we go. That's actually a way better connection. Heck yeah.
Yay.
But he looks to you and he says, come, have a seat. And you can see that there's like 2 tents that are set up, but like some like rocks that you could tell have been like cleaved like clean flat on top, almost as if like this kind of like campsite has been set up by someone before that was not them. But he invites invitation to you, Belbin, to come have a seat with him.
And what's behind me?
It's just the back behind you is like basically the cliff path that goes back to the ledge.
Okay. How far back is that?
40 feet, maybe?
Okay. And it's this guy and 3 other guys with bows?
Mhm.
And the waterfall, they're like under the waterfall.
Yeah, back behind the waterfall, and they are like pretty. This area that they're kind of set up camp is probably a solid like 80 by 80 feet roughly.
Okay.
So it's like a good amount of space.
Have I left tracks or anything for everyone else to follow? Like, would they be able
It's
to...
a clear stone face, so there's no tracks to be left here.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you make a wisdom skill check for me, though.
That'll be 16.
As you look around, you contemplating whether to accept this guy's proposal, you look over to the right, and so you climbed up on the left side of the waterfall, and over on the right, you can see that there are a set of rough stairs that kind of go down the other side of the waterfall. So that's most likely how they came up, was through the other side of the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
But they're decently hidden. Like, if you were just like looking at the cliff face, you wouldn't be able to see it. But like back behind the waterfall, it's pretty clear that they're there.
Do they seem to be like better organized than the other sets of pirates? And
Absolutely. They're definitely, this guy who's speaking to you definitely has like a sense of authority that like the other people didn't.
Yeah.
Even the one that was like in the onsen like previously, that you guys knocked out with the bowling ball. Like, this guy seems like to have way more authority than that guy.
Okay.
At least as far as like how the other people are listening to him.
Belbin is going to turn back and just start booking it.
You just turn back.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going the opposite way on the ledge.
You begin to hear in a very calm voice as, now, no need to be hasty. And that's the last thing you hear as you just make your way on the edge. I'm going to have you make a agility survival check, and it's going to be at despair.
Oh, I rolled a 16 and a 15. I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
22.
You turn around and you plant your feet, and you get a decent grip as you just run back over to the bushes. Do you like climb down? What is the plan here?
What are they doing? I'll turn back once, because I've got like the clear path down now. But did they follow? Can I see, or am I hidden from
As
them?
you turn around, you see an arrow come whizzing by you, but you don't see anybody chasing you.
Okay. Can they see me, or am I hidden by?
No, you
by-
basically turn around a corner. Basically, because
Okay.
it kind of shapes like kind of like a horseshoe shape, where like the inside of it's like the bottom part of the horseshoe, and then it kind of juts out on the side. So you made your way over to the cliff, out onto the
Okay.
side.
And so if I went down, they would have like clear shots at me.
Potentially, if they followed you out, they wouldn't be able to see you climbing down right now. But if they follow you out, they would easily be able to take some shots at you.
Okay. Can I look like over the cliff to see if anyone's coming for help?
That is a good question. Zill and Thordane and Luxalia, what are you guys doing at this moment?
I think
I assume we were watching him go.
Yeah, but you couldn't see him as soon as he disappeared. You basically saw a body get thrown over from the guy that Belbin beat up.
Oh yeah. Once I saw that, I think we started heading up
climbing.
there. Yeah.
Climbing. Okay. I'm gonna have, if that is the case, everybody go ahead and make dexterity skill checks for me. The three of you.
Question.
Yes.
I have a climbing speed. Does that matter?
That does matter.
Okay.
We all do. Well, maybe not we
No.
all.
Yeah. I think
Like Glyvin specifically, we have a. Oh, maybe not.
I
but
have
we-
one. Yours is just a lot faster.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
you would be able to
So
climb quicker.
dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity skill checks for everybody.
Okie doke.
Hey, Nat 16.
Whoa.
Wow, we're rolling high today.
Is Thordane fallen?
Maybe. He got a 6. It's not a natural one.
Okay.
But it's a 6 total.
18.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Do you guys follow the path that Belbin took up, or do you go closer to the waterfall, like more a direct path?
Probably more direct.
It's harder to
I don't
climb
know.
because it's wet.
Oh, I see.
Probably the path Belbin then.
Yeah,
'Cause
probably the path.
I am not a
It's a safer
confident
route.
climber. How's your climbing? Not good.
And what was
Mine's pretty good.
what was
but-
Luxalia? What was your dexterity?
18.
18. You see, Belbin, as you run back out, you see everybody has begun to make the climb. About 10 feet, 15 feet up, Thordane actually slips and falls. He's going to go ahead and take
Well, at least you only made it 15 feet up.
Oh no.
That's not too bad.
12 points of impact damage.
Oh my gosh! From 15 feet?
You landed on his head.
Landed backwards. Landed backwards on his head.
Wow.
Oh.
I will drop my rope, the grappling hook and the rope down to see if that helps them climb up.
It does definitely if they get closer, because they're kind of, like I said, they were going like vertical and then they were going to go horizontal. But as you see this rope drop, if you're able to make your way over, which eventually the group of you are able to do, I'm going to have Thordane repeat his dexterity skill check. But the other two are able to eventually climb their way over up.
It's the same roll as 6.
Another 20 feet up, and Thordane.
Even with the rope, wow. Rough.
The rope's not long enough to go down. How long is the rope? 50
Oh.
feet? 'Cause you're
Yeah,
like
I
80
think
feet up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to get at least the
You're
30
just
feet up before.
So close, but no cigar.
Thordane, you go ahead and you take 10 points of impact damage as you fall.
Oh my goodness.
He's injured now.
Oh my god.
he was bruised before. Now
Thordane,
he's
in a sense of panic, seeing this body fall over, is just like, Belbin! Belbin! Do you have an injury that needs to be attended to? Oh, I think I do now.
he's limping. He's gonna try again.
Oh my god.
Bazil and Luxalia grab the rope, and you're able to climb up using it as kind of a foothold.
Should I roll again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to climb.
Roll again.
Beautiful.
Okay, that's better. All right. 18.
Yeah, you
18.
finally get your footing as you begin to climb up, and you only have to climb 30 feet before you get the rope.
All right, sounds good. He's gonna take this opportunity to rub the salve he was gonna put on the one dude onto his wound.
Eventually, when you get up to the top,
Yep.
you'll be
Yep,
able
that's
to,
what he'll
but,
do.
As this is happening, as everyone's climbing up, you can hear footsteps of Belbin behind you. However, they don't seem to be rushing towards you. They seem to be just casually walking towards you.
Do they see me? Like, do they know
You
where I
haven't
am, or are
seen
they
you haven't
just-
seen them, and they haven't seen you yet, but you can just hear it. Like again, Zill's hand begins to reach the edge of the cliff as he's the first one to be able to kind of start pulling himself up. This is a matter of seconds here that things are happening. What's going on at this moment?
Belbin will, like, the grappling hook, I assume is attached to a rock. I assume I'm not like holding it, but it's like secured. Uh-oh. I can't hear him.
Can't hear me?
Oh, yeah.
No, okay, now I can.
Okay. Hey, sorry. What? Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, I assume that the grappling hook is like secured
Yes. Yeah. You
to something. I'm not
you
holding
fastened
it.
it, and then they're
Yes.
climbing up it. Yeah.
So if they're climbing up it, I am going to try to stealthily sneak farther deeper into the bushes and maybe like catch them from behind.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me.
11.
11. You do so. You slip into the bushes as Zill peeks his head up over the edge. Zill, you can't really hear. You don't. The rush of the waterfall is so loud that you can't really hear what's going on. But you are able to make your way up to the top. As Luxalia kind of comes up behind, and a little bit back behind is Thordane. Nothing appears from around the corner.
Belbin!
Luxalia gets
What's
up.
wrong?
Nothing
What
appears from around
happened?
the corner. Belbin's kind of
Belbin.
looking in the bushes. Eventually, Thordane, as his hands basically grip the top ledge, and he begins to hoist himself up. You hear a voice coming from behind, and it's very faint over the rush of the waterfall, and it says, "I'm just offering a seat to you. Take it, or leave it."
This is to Belbin.
Just anybody that's there. I think they're assuming that you're the only one there, Belbin, because you can't see them.
Okay.
Did we hear this?
Yeah, you guys hear it.
Can
was
I
that?
can I locate like where it is and like how far away does it sound like I am from?
Well, you heard footsteps slowly coming closer, so whoever it is, the voice is getting closer, or like however
Okay.
far out. So
Even though I like kind of scattered out it more into the bushes.
I
to go
prepare if things go wrong to cast Protector of Light.
okay,
on us all.
Eventually, as you wait, are you just waiting for this voice to continue coming closer?
Me for the protector
Everybody.
of light?
Everybody.
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to get almost a visual of where they are.
'Kay.
Without them seeing me.
From what you know, Belbin, if they were to come after you, there's no way they'd be able to go more than one across. And so, with how like wide the ledge is, eventually you do see some torchlight as some torches make their way, basically glistening off the edge of the waterfall, and you see it turning the corner. This guy who is speaking to you, and very calmly with a torch in his hand, just like casually resting on top of his cutlass. He stops as he sees Eclass finish their climb and look up. They don't see you, Belbin, and as you are hidden safely in the bushes, and he says, and he smiles and he says, "Oh, we have more guests. I recognize each of you." And
I recognize you.
Is this
Yeah, do we recognize
is this
him?
Mr. Knobs?
you do not recognize him.
Jackman?
Do we know you?
Oh, I would assume no. And he continues to walk forward slowly, not menacingly, but slowly. And you can see that there are two more people that follow behind. So 3 total. Says,
Where's
well,
Belbin
the
and the
offer
rest of
still
them?"
stands that I saw to your mangy friend that you had there. You can
Thordain's
come back and
like-
join us.
Yeah, Thordain says, "I am the captain of this crew. You must identify yourself to me, as I am Thordain, the captain of Lomni's Breath." And he bows.
I just whispered to Thordain, "If he says parlay, don't trust him."
Noted, Zil.
A proper sailor. As he takes off his hat and he bows and he says, "My name is Rubok. I am the captain of, well, what's left here."
Rubok, you say?
Yes.
An esteemed name even for a pirate. He scratches his chin for a bit. He says, "We have come to offer you a spot upon our crew. Do you take it? Or do you choose death?"
And do you choose Alomnia also? That's part of the deal.
Yes. And he points over
At
at
least an
Alex.
openness to it and going to our daily services.
He
A prayer.
he patiently listens to you speak and he says, "The group of you, I've heard many tales. You know, your names have been whispered amongst the waves along the sea. You
About
aboard
time.
Alomnia's Breath, is that correct?"
Where is Belbin in relation to the rest of the group? In relation,
So this bush probably extends about 10 feet. You said you were trying to get closer to them, right?
yeah.
So you're probably about 10 feet away from them.
And they're outside of the bush
They're outside of
Right.
the bush, yeah.
because they just climbed up.
They didn't climb up. They just walked along the edge and made their way out.
Okay.
But everybody else is kind of closer to the back edge of the cliff side.
Okay. Okay. I'm waiting for my time to jump.
And he says,
Jump them, not jump off the cliff.
"It is quite cold out here, isn't it? We have a nice warm campfire back behind the waterfall if you would be so kind to join us. We mean you no harm, that is, unless you mean us harm." And he kind of looks playfully suspicious at you.
We mean you no harm as long as you mean us no harm.
We just offer you a new path in life, as this pirating put you behind a waterfall running from us.
Reasonable. I want you to understand this first and foremost. We understand that we are outmatched, particularly when it comes to the entire group of Eclass Eeas. All we want to do is chat.
I'm glad you realized that. I think we can have a chat.
Then from the bushes, Belvin's voice will come and say, "Why'd you shoot some arrows then?"
Some of my underlings are a little bit quick to aim, quick to fire. You know, a pirate's life. You take what you want and leave no survivors. He'll be punished soon enough.
Why in the world should we trust you about anything?
I don't think it would be wise to trust me. But it seems that as a course of action, a conversation is better than immediately dying to the blade. Whether we take one or two of you, or you kill all of us, needless bloodshed isn't necessary, particularly in the state that we're at.
Belvin
You
will come
wouldn't
out of
take
the
any of
bushes.
us, by the way. I wouldn't let that happen.
And I'm inclined to believe that. But the
Thorne
offer still
rubs a
stands.
salve on
I'd
his
rather
arm.
nobody die. So, how about this? How about we meet in a more neutral location?
What do you have in mind?
Belvin?
All I have is this bush. I don't know. I don't
I
want.
should have asked
What kind of a
Solomon.
what kind of neutral location are you looking for?
I don't know,
Belvin has
somewhere that's
something.
right on the ledge of a waterfall and somewhere that's not in a secret hideout full of pirates.
Yes.
To put
So
your
I
to put,
think
to put your mind at ease, we only just came here this evening. We haven't really had much time to set up traps or anything like that, and I don't know how many of us are still left out there, but I can promise you there are only 4 of us. Considering, and one of us didn't return.
Though I will say I do not trust a pirate, and I do not trust his word.
And you shouldn't.
Compared-
That's lessons
compa-
learned.
Compared to all the pirates we've talked to on this journey, by the way, some have taken us up on our offer, many have not. They're no longer with us. However, this is the first time he's actually a pirate's willing to sit down and talk. I think we should hear him out at the very least.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I just, think
Yes.
we're walking into a dangerous situation.
Yes, let's all climb back down the cliff, everyone, including you pirates.
I think there's an easier way to do this. And he gestures over back behind him. You can't really see too well. He's like, back behind here, where we've set up camp, there are a set of stairs that have been carved into this waterfall. Clearly, this location has been used at some point in the history of Aishan Island, and it is currently abandoned. That is how me and my crew made our way up here for the evening. There are plenty of dangerous creatures and beasts as soon as night falls, and this was a decently secured location, or so we thought.
Yes, well, I'm inclined to believe that there are these steps. However, I wouldn't feel good as a captain if it wasn't for if we didn't secure our safety somehow. And Thordain takes out a pair of rope behind his back. We shall go down the cliff with you, but we must secure you first before unsecuring you by the time we get to the bottom.
I have
You
already
have
mentioned. I have already mentioned that we are no match for you. You must at least preserve us our dignity of speaking on free terms.
You will have free terms when we hit the bottom, but we cannot trust pirates.
I mean, can we just, disarm them?
Yes, give me your sword, sir.
Or just, leave it behind? We don't have to take it, but, you just don't bring it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Luxalia will frisk you for your weapons.
How
no,
about
Zill will frisk you, and
Zill
Belvin
will
will
frisk
also
you
help.
for your weapons.
Okay.
how about this?
Yes.
You can walk from a distance, but we will go back to camp and we will be out in the open and drop all of our stuff along with all of our belongings. As long
Yeah.
as you keep everything firmly, all of your weapons and
Is there
dangerous
nowhere
artifacts.
up here apart from behind the waterfall that we can do this? Are we on just like a ledge the whole time? Like I
This
don't
whole
understand.
time you guys are on this ledge.
Where it's like single file.
Yeah, well, not right now. So there's a kind of like this jut out, like where you could actually where that bush is, and so this probably extends about like 15 feet outside, and then it funnels into about like a 5-foot path that goes back around the waterfall to like this like 80 by 80 foot like cavern kind of area, and then there's like another like set of stairs that go down the opposite side of the waterfall.
Can we not just do this here? Do we need to go down? Do we need to be in your camp?
I mean, if you wish to do so, it is.
What do you want to? What do you want to do?
I want to have
You're
a
just here to
conversation.
talk?
That's what I want.
About
to have.
what? About what?
Where we go forward from here. I see that you are someone who likes to cut right to the chase, and I appreciate that. I
Your
want to
fellow
put all of your
pirate
minds at ease while still being able to preserve whatever dignity that we have. As I had mentioned, I am Rubok, and I am a captain in my own degree. I only ask that as a captain, you treat me and my crew with the respect that we have offered you.
Yes.
So- So, you guys will go down the stairs first, and then we will next.
If that is what you desire.
Yeah. Thoradane is not here, but I'll say yes. That's
And
what he
look-
wanted.
he looks to
do.
the rest of you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, then follow us. And he offers friendly a torch out to you to be able to hold. I guess the closest person is Belbin, so he offers Belbin a torch.
Belbin will take it.
Watch your step. It is nice and slippery, as I'm sure you know. And he turns around completely vulnerable as he leads you along with his two companions back to the campsite. And all of you see this large, basically kind of open cave. And he does turn around for a moment. He takes his weapons, he drops them, and he orders his companions to do the same. And he watches as you guys carefully make your way across this ledge. And with a nod, he grabs a couple more torches from the fire, and you begin to make your descent along these waterfall steps out onto the north bank of the lagoon. I heard a dice roll. Is everything good?
Everything's good.
Okay.
Yep, don't worry.
Um,
Just contemplating whether I pull this guy off the ledge or not. So, when his back was turned.
Oh my
But
goodness,
We're not doing
Belvin.
that. We're not doing that.
Are you
Um,
neutral again?
I think he was, and then dip back into Vice.
I am neutral actually. I
Oh,
am neutral by 1 point.
hey.
you make
So
your way-
don't do anything dumb.
You make your way and you follow this group down like this kind of it's a pretty steady decline, but it is pretty hidden amongst the foliage along the side of the cliff till eventually you find all of you on the northern side of this lagoon. There are a couple of trees that have fallen, and Rubok and his remaining crew members, they all sit on this tree trunk, and he takes a couple of basically like driftwood, and he offers them up as seats to you as he takes a seat. He has this long kind of coattails that he kind of goes like, and he like sits down, and he kind of outside of like this dank cave in the torchlight, he looks like a proper sailor. He doesn't look like your typical pirate.
Yeah.
He doesn't
And
have like
Thoradane
the powdered wig or anything, but he's got kind of got like the long coat like Gunter has. Almost like this guy is like a proper sailor.
Yeah, Thoradane notices this and takes a seat across from him and says, you don't carry yourself like a pirate. What business do you have with Jackman Nobbs? You do realize what he's offering you isn't something he can give you.
Again, I must commend you on cutting right to the chase. I appreciate a negotiation where we aren't beating around the bush, so to speak. So yes, you know of Jackman Nobbs. Tell me, what exactly do you know of Jackman Nobbs?
That he's worshipping demons.
Yes, he is, as far as we know, possessed by one. And that's why we were saying he cannot promise you anything and actually give it to you, because the Denzians of the Void cannot actually promise anything of real value to us here on this world of Everlast. And trust me, this may sound like fairy tales, but we know all too well. You know us, you know our name, and we have made that name for a reason.
And where have you garnered this information?
Ah, yes. Where have we garnered it? Through our travels. You see, us here, we are the keepers of the Earth Pillar. And so, we have long networks wherever we go. As far as it comes to here on Ishan Island, Folden Rock, Feshenfay, even Port Grandium. We have networks everywhere, and so we're very well aware of what ongoings are going on here in the sea, or what is this? Great Peninsula, not the Great Peninsula. What is this?
Inland Sea.
The Inland Sea.
He looks to you and he says, and I will say I have to thank you for your honesty. Typically when dealing with pirates and others, they're not so forthcoming with this kind of information. And now that you have shown me that I can trust you, let us show you that you can trust us. He opens his jacket and he pulls out what looks to be a furled up piece of parchment. I was Jackman Nobb's first mate back in the day. When he broke out of Folden Rock's prison, he found me. I don't know how, but he did. I had made quite a life for myself. Tried to do proper, honest sailing work, and when I saw the shadow of my old past arrive, I understood that I was in no position to deny him. We, after all, did pledge our allegiance to him all those years back. It was a shame they didn't kill him when they had the chance. He is a vicious, cruel man, but he is also very much bound to the book, so to speak. You understand as a captain, right?
Yes, I do understand that. However, as I had said before, he may be bound to the book, but he's bound to something far more sinister as well. I think maybe you seem reasonable enough to maybe sense it yourself. And what we offer you, again, you seem like a reasonable man, we offer you a way out of this. As it is our job to bring down Jackman Nobbs. And bring down the evil he has caused here in this region of Everlast, and hopefully not the rest of this world.
As he sits there, listening to Thordane speak, one of the pirates shifts uncomfortably. He immediately stands up, pulls out a dagger, and lunges himself at Thordane. Thordane, I'm going to have you make an agility survival check for me.
That's
we
good.
didn't see
Don't
this
worry.
coming.
Wait, I was prepared though for Pillar of Light.
That's true.
Pillar of Light or...
No, sorry. Yeah. The other
yeah.
one. That protects
Agility,
people.
you said, though?
Protector of Light.
Don't worry. You'll have your moment.
20.
Okay.
20. As you see this, you kind of like reel back a little bit, and Rubok, he stands up and he just hangs this guy. The guy falls down, he picks up his dagger and he plunges it into the center of this guy's chest. And he says, "You dare defy your captain! We built honesty between us." And he begins to twist it. And you can see hate and rage build up in his eyes. And he says, "Does any of you have a problem with this?" Not to you, but to the other two remaining people. And the others just like look in fear and they say no. And he lifts his hand off
And
the dagger.
Yeah,
And he sits
Thordane's like,
back down.
yeah,
calmly.
Thordane's hesitates, and he's like, "Oh, come now, come now. I understand it is hard when when your worldview is being challenged." And Thordane stands back up and removes the dagger and says, "Look, Sully, you take care of this fine chap," and sits down, sits down again, across from him and says, "I understand you don't want any insubordination. However, it's meant nothing to me. I have been stabbed in the back multiple times in my life. This isn't the first time." Anyways, back to our conversation.
He very calmly listens, almost as if like this killing meant nothing to him. And he
Oh, is the guy dead?
The guy's dead. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was still alive. All right, never mind.
As if like this killing meant nothing to him, and he says, "There's a rule to this world, and everything has a proper order. For much of my life, I was very high on that list as far as this order goes, and as a captain, my crewmates, they will follow me via loyalty, or they will follow me via fear. It is up to them to decide which to follow me by. But I will not, as you had mentioned, deal with insubordination, especially when I promised and I gave my word to a fellow captain and his crew that we would not harm you and just simply talk."
Thordan nods and says, "Well, it's clearly not your doing that this man, deceased now,
Oh no,
decide to pull."
it is my doing that he unfortunately decided to disobey orders.
Well, I see how you see it. However, do you feel bound in this way to Jackman Nobbs as well?
He hesitates for a bit, and his confidence, you can tell, for a little bit begins to waver. As he says, he takes a gulp and he says, "I wish myself to not be bound to him. But as I do not abide in insubordination, neither does he. He is a man of the book, and what I mean by that is he is a man of belief. He will give anybody and everybody a chance. And as soon as they pledge their oath to him, he will hold you to that. And that is what I came up under. This is why, by our rule as pirates, as under Jackman Nobbs' fleet, any insubordination will be dealt with swift death."
Thordan scratches his chin as he hears this and says, "Well, it seems you find yourself in quite a pickle then.
Hence our
That is-
conversation.
That is, I think I admire your loyalty, and I think any man would be lucky to have a man like you underneath them. However, I don't think this Jackman Nobbs that you initially sailed with is the same Jackman Nobbs that you pledge your loyalty now to. As we had said, we have very good information that this Jackman Nobbs is not Jackman Nobbs. This Jackman Nobbs is merely a shell of what was Jackman Nobbs. Our goal here, as Eclass Eeas, is not necessarily to kill Jackman Nobbs. Our goal is to free him from what hides inside of him. As we had mentioned, the wickedness and wills of the void is a mysterious thing, and I don't understand it myself quite as much. I think, and he gestures to Luxalia and even to Zil, says, I think they understand the void and this Alomnia thing a lot more than we do, but I do know one thing, and I've grown to learn in my time here in Everlast, and especially with my fine compatriots here. I have learned that you cannot give yourself fully over in loyalty if your loyalty doesn't first lie with Alomnia himself. Might seem confusing, but what I'm getting at is this Jackman Nobbs, at least the shell that you are under this Jackman Nobbs, has no authority over you because he has no authority to give. The only one who can give authority is Alumnia himself to his creation. And with the shell that is Jackman Knobs is not of Alumnia, in a sense. It may be confusing to understand, but I think you have the opportunity, if you see my reason, to break this loyalty, this contract, because you are not actually under Jackman Knobs right now. It is someone else facading as Jackman Knobs.
Make an influence skill check for me.
14.
I follow. And I think you are right to a degree, but the information that you have gathered, hence the reason I asked for this information, in the first place, is not also entirely accurate.
Oh? Do tell. What do you know that we don't, apparently?
The parchment that he had pulled out of his, he had basically been holding in his offhand, and he gives it over to you, Thordain.
And he reads out loud.
As you unfurl this map, you see that it is indeed a map. There are all kinds of circles all over the map, and particularly one thing that stands out that is very interesting about this. As you look, there seems to be a black smudge on the map, but it seems to be moving.
Is that map of Aishan Island, or is it
It's
of the
Everlast and the Inland Strait.
sea? And where is the black smudge moving from to? In what direction?
It is currently, right now, probably 30 miles off the coast of Aishan Island, and it seems to be moving southeastward. But it's like very slow. It's like you can just barely see it moving. You have to like really focus on it in order to convince yourself that it is moving, but it is in fact moving.
Yeah, Thordain shows this to everyone and says, "So what is this black smudge, and what is everything being looked for? I should say."
The power that
And this is north and east of Aishan Island.
yeah, northeast.
Okay, and so it's like descending upon.
Yeah, I mean it's like
Between
it's
the
like
24.
generally like this direction, like above, but
Yeah.
it's more north than it is east. So it's still technically like over the island, but about 30 miles off the shore. It looks like.
Okay.
With that, he says, "What you hold is a very special map.
I can see that.
It was written by Jackman Knobs' own hand. There's more
see
to
that.
there's more to him than meets the eye. I think you are right. I think he is under a contract, much like I am under a contract from him." As he tells you to flip it over, and as you do, you see that there is a contract that is on the back of it, and signed is Rubok's basically name assigned at the bottom of that. Then next to it, or directly underneath it, you see Knobs written underneath it.
So was this signed post his release from prison?
Yes.
And Thordain rips it in half and says, "You are not bound to this contract, sir."
Make a physical skill check for me.
That's a natural 16
Oh,
plus.
Where are you ripping it? This is telling us where Jackman Knobs is.
Just a half. Still 2 halves.
but will that ruin the magic?
I don't know. We're going. That's a 20.
As you
Or
begin,
physical, you said?
yeah, physical skill check.
17.
As you
17.
begin to tear, this thing is like trying to tear a phone book. As you begin to like, and like the parchment begins to go rigid, and you're able to make just like the slightest tear in the tip, but you are not able to tear this contract.
Yes, this is clearly not man-made, as you can see.
Thordain is a man of science, after
Yes.
all.
This is curious.
But I do believe that, well, like all contracts, ultimately, the ultimate authority is Alamnia himself. So I do believe that for deliverance, you will have to go to, well, the almighty Alamnia and renounce your attachments and your contracts that you have made with this demonic presence. Can I sense any sort of like, Eve? I'm blanking on the name. Void.
Make a
in
faith
this?
survival check for me.
Can I?
Zill, you don't notice anything off the bat. Nothing Voiden seems to be stirring from him.
Faith. 18.
However, Luxalia, you do see that his spirit, or feel that, like, personally, while there's no void emanating off of him, you do sense that his spirit seems bound. Meaning, he is not free. Like, there doesn't seem to be free will in him, essentially.
Mhm. What do you see, Luxalia?
Wait. In him or the contract? So there's nothing about the contract that's like.
Oh, no. The contract is not voided, but the contract definitely seems like something that is
Yeah.
documented something. But, like, from him, you see basically, like he
You-
seems bound.
I can tell you have bound yourself to this evil. And I am telling you, Alamnia is greater than that contract and can break it should you wish. Of course, you will have to do it of your own free will. I can help lead you through it, though this is not my expertise. But I can lead you to that greater entity that could. And we can offer you protection until that time. And we can
Luxalia,
obviously
can
pray
you-
for your deliverance until then. But
Can you sense that if he does come back with us to Takai Town, can you sense that he won't stab us in the back, per se?
as it stands, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rubald, you said?
Rubak.
Rubak. My apologies. My friend Rubak here, is in fact bound to Mr. Nobbs. Unless we do any sort of deliverance now by his own free will and renunciations of this contract. In Alamnia's name, which is the only name that can make this contract null and void to my knowledge. So, unless he does that, then, yes, he is bound to Jackman Nobbs, and we either would take him as prisoner of war, or, we take him as prisoner of war.
He hears
Sorting-
this, and it's pretty it's daunting. Just these truths that are being shown, but he begins to grin this wide smile, and you can tell one of his teeth are literally replaced with a diamond, in his teeth, and it kind of glints in the firelight a little bit. But he says, "It seems I've come to the right people. Nobody understands the plight that we are under, and it is not just me, but every other captain in all of the ships that Jackman Nobbs has garnered underneath his tutelage has signed such a contract."
Well, it seems that, again, as you said, you have come to the right people. Though it may, whether it's through your renunciations, I think that's the easiest way to try. Another thing is, obviously, if Jackman Nobbs is no longer alive, obviously the contract can no longer be held because he's no longer alive. So I guess that's up to you. If you want the saving of your dear captain, Jackman Nobbs, I think it's worth giving it a try.
I
for
want
these
you to stop
renunciations
there.
right
I
now.
have no love for Jackman Nobbs. As I had mentioned earlier in the days prior to his imprisonment, I served under him, and it was only because of his influence that I was able to take a plea deal in the court of law and find my freedom elsewhere. But you
Well,
don't
then tell
understand.
me-
You don't understand the influence that he does. That he does protrude. I do not fear death. I want you to understand this. I Also understand that if I were to die in the state that I am in, that I would see nothing but oblivion. That frightens me
don't
more
want
than
that.
anything. But I've seen what Jackman Knobs can do. And even if I tried to free myself from his bondage, he would always find a way to find me. I want you to understand what this contract entails. I cannot willingly go against or raise a blade to Jackman Knobs. But I can aid those powerful enough to see his downfall. I want you to know that I was honest when I said I knew who you were. I know what you've done. And I think you are the only hope of breaking the bonds of these contracts. Yes, I was drawn over by greed, fear, and so are many of the other captains underneath his bond. There are those that are under those captains' commands that do have the free will, but they are shown the exact same mercies. And that is something we are bound by. If we see any abandonment, I am obligated under this contract to end that person. All they need to do is pledge their loyalty to Jackman Knobs. And I will fight. I'm compelled to make sure that they no longer breathe.
This poses quite the conundrum. Because we ourselves desire you to no longer be under Jackman Knobs, and we can promise as well, again with all of our connections, that by you aiding us, and by this information you have given us, that not only will you get a fair trial at the end of it, most likely you'll be let off scot-free, because you're not doing this by your own free will. I think the higher-ups would completely understand that, meaning you most likely would become a free man at the end of this. However, I know you are also bound to this contract in a way. So tell us, if you do want to help us, how can you help us without going against this contract in the current state that you are in?
I think step one would be allowing you to keep this contract. That smudge that you see there, that's the ship of Ragnik. This is how Jackman Knobs communicates, keeps track of where his forces are. And you see that there are other dots too that seem to be moving. These are all of his ships, and you see basically a ship that has like a special kind of like gold ink that's actually docked in the harbor right now of Tuck Town. And it seems to be scratched out. And he says, and that was my ship. It seems as he looks and he sees like all of the trinkets that you have on him. He says, it seems that you have plundered the spoils of our conquests. That is the Sultan, one of Jackman Knobs' favorite ships. Clearly, you have commandeered such a magnificent vessel, and I recommend that you add it to your fleet if you wish to go against it. There is no faster ship in all of the seas.
Nice.
Well, this definitely will prove to be quite useful. However, we still need to keep an eye on you. If we do have you available, does your contract bind you if things get hairy to stab us in the back?
This contract only holds the power that it has as long as I breathe. Like I said, I cannot willingly go against Jackman Knobs, and the second I decide to turn my blade against Jackman Knobs, the contract breaks and I die. Meaning the enchantment on this contract goes away, including all of the positions of all of his forces.
Yes. I think what might be best is keep you as well and put you in good charge, but keep you as prisoners of war, as it were. That way you are not directly going against your unfortunate master, but at the same time, you are out of the way and not a threat. And at the very least, you are not in a position to help stab us in the back, but also not in a position to help us either.
And this
So
is,
you can, I suppose, help us by getting out of the way.
And this is what I ask of you. If you are to keep me alive, you must take me as prisoner.
Yes.
If we willingly betray Jackman Knobs by our own will, I will be forced to kill my companions, any of those who have turned over a new leaf. I will be forced to kill them.
I see.
I want you to understand, I am compelled to do so. You must keep me under lock and key until the deed is done. I can offer whatever advice that I can, but I cannot physically raise a sword or betray Jackman Knobs.
Understood.
That is good to know. I think that with such a valuable new person with us, I think our new brig on Alumnia's Breath might serve a good
Throw
purpose.
him in the brig.
Of course, with all due respect, sir.
You'll be well fed.
You will be well fed and you will be well taken care of. But there's also no safer ship than the ship with us on it.
Should we keep him with us, or should we put together a prison on Ishan Island?
Yes, I guess that just depends on what it is. I mean, we're not all guaranteed when it goes down that we're all going to be on Alumnia's Breath.
Also, we could potentially separate. Like, if we just need him, he could be in our brig, and then we could put the rest of his compatriots in a brig
that's what I was saying.
here.
That's what I was saying. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
that-
But I mean, like, we're also taking his compatriots prisoner.
Oh, yes.
So, like, they also need to be somewhere. So we could
Yes,
separate
although-
them into different prisons, is what I'm saying, so he could not harm them.
Your compatriots, they are not bound by the same contract that you are. They have free will to fight against Jackman Knobs, so if they choose. Correct?
That is correct. However, if I am able to get within reach, if they do make that decision, they will die
He
by
has
my
to kill
hand.
them. Yes.
Okay, well, I turn to the other two pirates that are still alive.
Don't.
Yes,
Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we should, like, take him prisoner first.
All right, we'll take a prisoner.
The whole die by his hand within reach thing.
Yeah.
Let's separate them before any offers or decisions are made.
I think at this point, we take them all prisoner, and we take them all back, and then we decide from there.
Well,
Yes.
hold on. One question for him first. The map. Which ship is Jackman Knobs's?
He points onto basically the map, and you see docked currently right now at a Skyspire Island. There is a large silver star that is there. That is Jackman Knobs.
Nice.
And why are his other ships close by when he's not?
Which brings us to Jackman Knobs' intentions. He is a pirate, and back in the day when we sailed together, that's merely all we were, seeking a life of freedom, riches, and glory. It wasn't fulfilling, maybe on a deeper level, but I think in every one of us there is a greed that drives us. But no, what Jackman Knobs, what made him such a great pirate, what makes him such a great pirate, and great in many aspects, well known, but also quite powerful, respected amongst his kind, and feared, is he is a man with a purpose. He looks at the world. He sees so much, and he shakes his head, He sees so much scandal. He's a simple man. He says what he is, and he lives that way. There are so many of those that are out there, many in power, that claim to be something, but they are something else. He is led by a sense of justice. There are those in power that seek to crush those beneath them, to deceive them. There are those who sought wealth out of breaking the people underneath them. He sees the tyranny in people's hearts, and he can judge them. No. There was something that changed about him when I saw him before. This was exasperated. There is a desire, no, a greed, a need, a thirst, a lust to purge this world of those who live in scandal. He is, by his own terms, the hammer of justice. And those that pledge themselves to him pledge to do what is right and to do what is just, even if that means giving their life over to something that will one day lead to their ruin. But he promises in return a life of freedom, a life of joy and riches.
Doesn't
When you
seem
say
just.
he sees scandal, what does that mean? What is scandal?
It means that there are people who claim to be one thing, but practice what is, let's just say, deep down different. He can see their souls. He can see that people have built themselves up to be great people. But their desires are corrupt. Their desires are evil. But I think now, there's the thing that has changed is it has become perverse, flipped, in a way. He sees the good in people, and he sees that as the scandal. He used to fight great men, but now he fights magnificent men. He seeks the destruction of this world. He seeks to conquer it to a degree, by land or sea. And the promises that he has are power and things that are much greater. He offers to people what he once fought against. And there is a desire to that. There is everybody wants to make their lives something better than what they grew up with. There are those who have been privileged in this world, that have riches, that have education, that have all kinds of nepotism to a degree. And he sees that as wrong. I think that's debatable. But he offers the downtrodden, lonely, the low lives. He offers them a chance at riches and glory. I think it's easy off the face to accept that when you come from nothing. That's why I joined him in the first place. I was once married, you know. I had a wife. I had a family. And I was just a humble sailor. That is until there was a traitor amongst our town. Someone who had risen against the local lord. And he was driven mad. Something was stolen from him. Something important of sentimental value. Probably of real value. And he interrogated every person in town. And then he saw me. What I had taken from him was something I didn't quite know the value of it. It was a relic of times past. Irreplaceable, and I simply sold it to support my family. I was caught, I was jailed, and my family was killed right in front of me. And then one day, Jackman Nob showed up to town. The town was already in ruin and tatters. It was so easy for him to just claim dominion, kill that lord, empty the treasury, and free me in the process. I was so filled with anger and hate. I took up that cause. I had nothing left, except for what Jackman Nobbs promised. Freedom, retribution, and though revenge against those who lord their power over others. And I noticed I was young, and I was wrong. What I did was wrong. I understand that. But it was in my wrong action that my wife and my kids all died. And it took me a while to come to terms with that. And when Jackman Nobbs escaped, I just relived it. There's something about him that stirs a vigor in people, a hatred, a greed. You have not seen him, but brace your souls when you do. He has an influence beyond that which holds him now. He is a more dangerous man than you think. The loyalty that he has in his followers are unbreakable. The powers of tongue, wit, incomparable. But I think I saw myself in him too. I think everybody has the power to relate to Jackman Nobbs, which is what makes him more dangerous. He exploits your vulnerabilities. And I think truly deep down he is a good man but a lost man. But as I say, I have no love for him. I've seen him do terrible things. And maybe not all men are worth saving. But I have to find hope in myself that there is. I have to find that I am worth saving for the actions that I did.
Thordain scratches his chin and says, "Oh, yes. Well, it seems that you know the situation you are in. And actually, it's funny. The other day, Yuki was reading to me in her Guardian Historia about Lamnia. Though I am old, not as versed as I should be, at least as not as versed as Luxalia, but Yuki was reading me, our other companion who's in tier, a passage about Alamnia's mercy, specifically. To me, it sounds like you just haven't forgiven yourself. Alamnia's going to be there to forgive you, or at least so I'm told. Is that right, Luxalia?
How can I forgive myself? It was because of my selfish actions that my family's dead. Everything that I cherish in the world is dead. I want to believe that I can forgive myself. But innocent lives are on my hands. Innocent lives. And he, you could see, he, glances down at the body.
Forgiveness does not excuse the action or take away its consequences. Forgiveness merely releases the debt owed. You can't pay that debt. It's just a fact.
So my
Alomnia
oblivion is
can.
inevitable then.
No, because Alomnia can. So,
Also,
though you are unable to do anything about it, it is something that you have to let Alomnia settle your debts and be able to accept his forgiveness and forgive yourself.
I'm gonna have
Also,
you
as
make
far
a
as-
wisdom skill check for me, Luxalia.
in Thornton says, as far as I know too, since you are bound by this contract, you have no free will in holding yourself back, and he gestures to the dead man on the ground. I don't think Alomnia is going to hold you responsible for the deaths of anyone that you killed by you not having the free will to be able to say no to it. Again, he's a merciful god as far as I've been told. Again, I'm still learning on my journey too, but the more I get to know him, the more I like him.
What was
15.
15? You can see that he's like shaking to a degree, and you're not unsure if it's anger or if it's trembling out of fear. But he says, Alomnia abandoned Everlast long ago. Do you not understand? We went against him in the beginning, and he left this place to the void, to oblivion. And he looks down at his hands and he says, maybe I abandoned Alomnia long ago. We abandoned Alomnia long ago. How could he want us back? How could he look at us wretched creatures and forgive us? I can't even forgive myself. How could that who knows us deeply, who created us, how could he forgive such a wretched, horrible people? Even when we try to do good, we end in only death. He points across the lake, or across the lagoon, and he says, even those who fight for him kill indiscriminately. We're all murderers, we're all wretched.
Yes. And yet, Alomnia does not see as man sees.
I just don't understand.
And you don't need to understand. Because whether you understand it or not does not make it true or untrue. Truth simply is, whether you understand it or not. And the truth is, Alomnia has chosen to love his broken children and to redeem them.
His shaking stops, and he pauses for a minute, and he looks at you directly in the eye, Luxalia, and he says, do you think they're with him now? My kids, my wife.
I think there's great hope that, yes. I think you should pray for them. Pray for their redemption and their salvation. For we won't truly know until we're there, but we have a merciful God. I know Alomnia wants them there. So I think there's great hope that, yes, absolutely.
He closes his eyes and he breathes deeply and he says, I want to be free of this. And I think you are the only ones who can do it. Rumor has it you've taken down an archdemon.
That's no rumor.
Jackman Nobbs is no archdemon. But he is demonic. What he's become is demonic. I think there is a man underneath it. But I have imprisoned myself to that man. I'm prepared for the end. And if there is any hope of freedom from this life, I think it rests with Eclass. It's not going to be so easy, though. I understand you're strong. I understand that there are many who should fear what Eclass can do. Your name is whispered throughout the pirates under Jacobin Nobbs' rule. But they are waiting. They are prepared. But to this, and he points to the black smudge, this is something you can't defeat. You cannot kill the dead. You must understand. So even if you were to get anywhere close to Jacobin Nobbs, without Ragnik and his crew out of the way, you're losing a fight. You're fighting a losing battle.
Thornton thinks deep about everything he's learned in his travels. He specifically thinks back to the Zayldune when they got wrecked on the island, and where he found the bow of the celestial bow. And then even thinks back to the bowstring in which Zill and Yuki brought back from Smoldran, and says, Alomnia would never make a hopeless situation. Again, if you have faith in him, he'll provide you what he needs. At least that's been our experience. Not that it hasn't been easy, but he'll provide you what you need if you truly try to do his will. So yes, that is something that we actually have fought Ragnik and his forces before, and we were able to drive them back at the very least momentarily, for a small moment. However, we will find a way. Just have faith. And I will say, and Thordain gets up and gestures to Belbin to help him start tying up some of the pirates, including him. And he'll say,
Also, I have 50 feet of chain that we can use, so.
Perfect. We'll connect them, and then we'll do the thing. And Thordain says, it seems to me you've made the most important first step in admitting that there is a problem and that you do want to change. And I think that Alomnia, that won't go unnoticed by him in the end, regardless of how this turns out.
Yes.
Perseverance, final perseverance, is what all of us can ask for in the end.
And
it seems like you have that.
if I may have one final thing to say on this matter, as we prepare to walk. Though we may wield the sword, Alomnia is the one who brings the victory. We're flattered that you have hope in us. But you only have hope in us because Alomnia has chosen us for whatever reason. And if we are to fail, Alomnia will rise up others who will take on this challenge until his will is done, ultimately. So have no hope in us, but hope in Alomnia.
He looks at each of you deep in the eyes. I'm going to have all of you make faith survival checks for me.
Ooh!
14. Wait, no. 21. I can math.
17.
14.
214.
He looks as if he is searching for something in each of your eyes, and there's a glint of something that he does see. Then show me. Show me what Alomnia is capable of. I've done all that I can do. And he holds out his arms for the shackles.
Oh.
We'll chain him up.
And make camp for the night. Thorin says it is not good to be wandering.
Yes, maybe we can go back up to your little.
Yes, your
hideout that you
waterfall,
made.
your waterfall hideout. And then at daybreak, we'll make our way back to Takai Town. At the very least, while you're in our care, not a hair on your head shall be harmed.
Fine. So be it. And as you go back up to the cave, you set up camp for the night, and this is a very safe location, meaning that you guys get a full road rest during this without any interruption or anything. The morning comes, early morning, and the three pirates that are chained up, they awake, but they're kind of like slumped up against the walls. You've given them some kind of padding to be able to sleep, to rest well, but you can see that there's kind of like a tenseness as you begin to walk in Rubok, and you can see that he's actively fighting his chains, and you can tell that this is something that he's not doing intentionally. This is something that like he's been doing with that taken prisoner. It's something he actively will be fighting during this time, is you need to keep him under lock and key now that he's officially been taken. He's being compelled to do so. But you continue to walk, and you make your way. Again, it's just a few hours walk before you end up finding the guy the people who died earlier. You buried them, do all the things that you need to do. And by the time you make it back to Takai Town, it is close to 3 p.m. of the following day. You say kind of the last rites for everybody as you do bury them, and you notice that Takai Town is still quite busy. There is a decent amount of work and rebuilding that has begun, and you find Yuki kind of over by the Axpeak area as she is doing what she can to. Unfortunately, there is no other Axpeaks that were surviving that you were able to find in there, but some of the rebuilding and the disposal of the bodies has begun as well. With that, I think we're going to go ahead and end our session for tonight. We're ending a little earlier, but let's go ahead and have quick thoughts. Let's start with Cole, since you probably have to leave sooner.
How'd you know? Yeah, good sesh. I'm glad I was able to be here the whole time. So that's good. It's a little late here, but that's okay. Yeah, it's one of those things that maybe we can talk about this, Kyle, because I'm finding it's I want to be able to lore drop about Alomnia, but the only thing I know about Alomnia is that it's parallel to Christianity.
Yeah, we can chat about it later.
I don't really know details, so that would be nice. It's just I just think it would be kind of nice to have more of an understanding as a player of a background of the Alomnic faith and the details therein. But yeah, I mean, I always love it. It's interesting because I find in a lot of role-playing games it's mostly just bad guys, kill them, and I enjoy being able to, and I know it's partly Luke Sully as a character, but to be able to convert them, even in games like Fire Emblem, my favorite parts of those games were when you could talk to different NPC enemies and recruit them to your cause. You know what I mean? Which is just cool. And I love being able to take that as a course of action, which I find is often not really an option a lot of the time.
Don't get me wrong, there are definitely some very evil people that are very overcome by evil. I mean, that's true villains are like that. And so
no, for sure. But always giving them that option, and then it's always pleasantly surprising when someone is I'm under a burden, but want to change. And
who was the first one like that? I think it was Shada. Maybe.
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah.
Way to go, Bella.
No, you know who it was? It was freaking a Gloof and all those people down in the Subterran. They were all prisoners, but there was I forget what the Dark Elf guy's name was, but there was a Dark Elf that was with you that sacrificed himself to a Brogrodesh.
That's true. And now Gloof's our backpack.
Now Gloof is your backpack.
Now Gloof's our backpack. So yeah, I mean, it's just that's something I really love about this is the space that it leaves for mercy, and then obviously sometimes it doesn't work out and we end up fighting and battling anyway.
Rolling
But
and role playing is good because like if
Yeah.
like every single time, and it kind of mimics to a degree real life conversation where it depends on the disposition of the person that's coming towards you. Like some people are going to be more violently disposed, or like some people like Rubok are like at a point where they're just like they're trapped. And like they see you as the best option for that, but they still have like a lot of doubts of like their past, like horrible things that they've done in the past that is still keeping them away from truth. But it's like conversion can happen like miraculously instantly, but for the vast majority of people that's not what happens. It's a gradual change, and it depends on like the actions of the people that are around them. That it's the actions of the people around them that lead you to God, lead you to Alamnia.
Yep.
And exactly what you said at the very end there, Cole, with Luxalia saying like you shouldn't have hope in us, you should have a hope in Alamnia, because it's through Alamnia that we're able to actually do what we do. Ultimately, he has the purpose and he will conquer all. And what Thordane said earlier, where it's just like, well, he's not going to give you like something that's impossible to overcome. He's giving you the tools and the strength to be able to overcome whatever it is.
Yep. So yeah, good sesh.
Yeah, sweet. You do have to
With
go.
that, I bid you adieu.
Have a good one, bro. Thank you. Appreciate
Bye,
it.
guys.
I go.
Let's go in normal order, starting with Max. I will be here, but I will be listening. I got to go check on the dog.
Yeah, it was great. It's always fun running into a blind situation of like, well, we're climbing the waterfall. I mean, Zill kind of took a back seat because he's so unsure like how to help in this situation. Of just like I'm in agreement with what they're trying. He's warming up more and more to this conversion approach. He still wants to swing an axe, but he just doesn't have a ton to add. Of like, we'll help you, but I don't know how. Yeah, so didn't have much to add this time, but was enjoying the ride. A lot of cool stuff. Hopefully I took some good notes on the map and the binding, and see a lot of good information about Jackman and Ragnik, and
Yeah, I kind of piggybacking off of what Max was saying is, and that's one thing I really like about this party is like we all have our very unique strengths in order to play what we do. Like obviously Thordane as a captain is a very or he tries to be a diplomat in as much of a way as he can be, and then obviously Luxalia has the faith approach to it, and Belbin and Zill have like the brute force aspects to it. But I mean, there's more to it too. Again, it's based off of life experience. Like I mentioned Shada earlier when it comes to Belbin, like only Belbin was able to really truly bring conversion to her because he meant something to her and she meant something to him. And so again, we all have our strengths, and even though that there may be weaknesses, that's one thing I really like about this party is that we all shine in different ways. I also just think, again, this was a really fun session. I mean, again, road rolls I think are really fun. The opportunity we get to do them is really fun, but also this conversation that we had was, I think, very, very important, and I think it's very helpful moving forward. I feel a lot more at ease knowing that Jackman Knobs isn't right next to Aishan Island.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's still at Skyspire is good news. So I guess we'll be able to kind of predict where he's going from here on out, which is super valuable to just positioning and what we need to do to post a defense of Aishan Island, or however we decide to move forward with it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to future sessions and looking forward to see how this all winds out. I think again it was a really important part, probably one of the most important parts from this captain. I think I learned is like he's very influential, Jackman Knobs, and it's not just the demon in him that's influential, but him as a person, because as he said, there's a little bit of Jackman Knobs in everyone. And so I'm curious to see when we actually do come and see him and have conflict with him, how that's going to look and how that's going to make everyone else react, if that makes sense. So yeah, it was a good session. I really enjoyed it, and I think there was a lot of really good stuff that came out of it. So
Connor, your thoughts?
Yes. Yeah, kind of echoing what Dane was saying about Jackman knobs. The like past Jackman knobs versus the like present Jackman knobs also is a little terrifying as well. Yeah, I think overall in the session, I don't know what the lone guy was doing on the beach. Like, there's still a lot of questions about that I never really got asked. Maybe in hindsight, maybe I should have tried to heal him right on there on the beach, but who knows, you know?
Sometimes
so
paths just lead to crazy.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that was interesting. Also, I don't know. I seem to be rolling really well. Like
I was
rolling.
freaking shocked. I was
new
like,
D16.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I'm not used to that. Like, I had back-to-back natural 16s. I'm used to back-to-back natural 1s. But even in just some rolls off to the side, even those turned out pretty good. Because like I said, there was one point where I was just gonna throw them off the waterfall if I rolled bad, and I rolled, I think, like a 15 or 16. So I was like, okay, well, we're not gonna do that. So yeah, no, I think it's interesting how everything plays out. Like with the good rolls, like some things happen. I'm a little surprised I didn't get any points of misery for throwing the guy's body off the ledge. But then again, it was supposed to flag everyone's attention.
right.
I didn't seem to do that. But no, I think it's interesting because we would never have gotten the map. We would have never have had that conversation had Belvin just grabbed them by their like the collars of their shirts and just thrown them off the waterfall. It's like Belvin had the power to completely change the whole course of that session.
Yep.
So I don't know. Yeah, that I thought was pretty interesting.
And I also think too, like with like speaking of like really good rolls and kind of like showing like what's happening, like when Thordane gets a natural 16 to rip the parchment, but it's like shows like how like enchantedly like bound it was. Like it really like things like that show like the severity of like the situation. And it's not like something where it's like I think it almost kind of like proved like Rubok's point where it's like I am like indestructibly bound by this. Like I can't get out of this. Like, I need your help to do it. And who knows? Maybe that help could have been Belbin just throwing him off a cliff and ending it there and then. Like you said, like kind of like the chance of everything coming to how it was. Like, I think it is really good, and it's also very entertaining for me because I say this every session. I go into the session prepared for things, and it never. I mean, it comes out. Like as far as like the general storyline goes, like I have an idea, but like everything that happens is always just surprises me in like such a good way to see like what actually ends up happening. And so like you guys entertain me quite a bit when I'm sitting here, help me to think on my toes, and also I don't know, it's just I enjoy it. And like every single session makes me look forward to the next session to see like where this like the next page of the story is going. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of next pages, things that you guys have going forward. So we have, first of all, the map, the contract map. So that's going to be very useful to you guys, I think, for not only just like wandering the seas trying to find out what's going on, but also really helping to like devise a plan of action and what to do. Like literally to the point where it's like he says like if these were to be taken and like you were like to die, like the enchantment's gone, and then basically there's like a protection upon them. So like if there's like a mutiny, there's no way to have a mutiny, and two, by death, basically like his location, and all the locations of their movements are gone. So Jackman Knobs, as far as you know, doesn't know that you have this. And then secondly, you guys have Smoldrain that you guys wanted to go chat with. And then now you kind of have more of like a vision of like what to do with Ragnik, and then finally confronting Jackman Knobs, and then figuring out what to do with Lilothy. It's kind of like everything is now, I think, finally set up to the point where it's just like, okay, we have, I think, what we need in order to do what we have to do. So it's up to you guys to determine like what goes on with that, which is exciting. I'm ready for it. Keep it coming.
Let's do it.
Dane, announcements.
Well, I was just gonna say, after the intensity of the end of this campaign, I wonder how easy feeling it's gonna be after it. You know what I'm saying. Yep. You know what I'm talking about. Hopefully that's the case. Anyways, announcements. So as Kyle had mentioned, Kyle will be continuing his stream of Oblivion Remastered. Or is it remake? Is it just remastered? Remastered. On Sunday, America time, Monday if you're in the East. And then as far as I know, he's going to be continuing that through next week. However, big announcements. We mentioned them at the very beginning of stream. On Sunday evening, we're going to be officially releasing 2 major updates to Fantasy Forge Studios. The first one being that we will have an active store on our website, fantasyforgestudios.com. There will be a whole new tab that's just literally the Everlast store. And so when you go there, you'll be able to purchase all of our products, including all of our TCG products. So Heroes of the West, Veil of Twilight, which came out this past summer. And then as well as the new release, and this is the official release day, is Sunday, of Veil of Twilight and Night of Martyrs, which are our two newest Everlast TCG sets that are coming out. So look forward to that, especially if you weren't able to participate in the Kickstarter and get your products early. This is your time to be able to get those products and start building decks. And that kind of goes into, and then we'll be able to do it on the website. We'll have them available on Amazon, and we're currently working with TCG players for singles, but then we also have it for international customers, mainly on eBay. So that's pretty cool. So I look forward to that. That will be all releasing on Sunday. So look forward to that big update. And then probably the second one, and the most exciting one in my opinion, is that the Everlast trading card game is officially going to be online, meaning you don't actually have to be in person to be able to play it. So we are going to be using Tabletop Simulator to be able to do that. So that again is purchasable through Steam. And it is a $20 purchase down, but like you'll have access to everything, not just Everlast TCG stuff. And again, all of the stuff inside Tabletop Simulator from the Everlast TCG, including all updates, all that kind of thing, completely free. Basically, the cost is buying Tabletop Simulator, but then you can also play all the other tabletop games that they have available on there if you like that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. But the nice thing about that is, again, our biggest issue for spreading the game and getting people to learn how to play a game, we have a bunch of people all across the world who have the game and they like the game and they collect the game, but they don't have anyone to play with, or at least a very small amount of people to play with. So this will connect everyone to be able to play. And what we'll be doing is in our Discord, we're going to be having a bunch of different rooms where you can actually get together with people and play the game. Or you can, if you have like personal friends, you can also just like DM them via Discord, which is pretty cool. And we'll also have a specific area in the Discord with all of those rooms that are like people looking to play. So that's going to be the main hub for people to go, be like, hey, I want to play the the TCG. Is there anyone available or willing to play with me? And then you guys can start the game up and get to play the Everlast trading card game. So again, that'll be released. The first release is going to be based off of the Prismatic Petals and Opus 6, which are the 2 EX battle decks for the Everlast TCG for Veil of Twilight and Night of Martyrs, which is pretty cool. Anything else to add on top of that, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, like, we're going to try to keep things interesting and updated. And so, like, by a month or bi-monthly basis, we're going to try to add new stuff, whether it is, like, new skins for the room. So, like, as you had mentioned, Prismatic Petals Opus 6 is the first one. And then we have plans for future stuff going forward, like new dice, new coins, new cards as well that will be added, especially as, like, sets begin to get released. And as we make our way towards our next Kickstarter, which hasn't officially been, like, released or announced anything yet, but we are working towards another Kickstarter as well. This is your way to be able to play the game, and as Dane had mentioned, once you get into Tabletop Simulator, like, there's no, like, recurring payments or subscriptions or anything like that. It's completely free from here on out. We don't plan to make a bunch of money off of you guys by doing this. This is, like, our way of helping you guys to play the game, and it's fun. And there's all kinds of cards. Like, in each of the rooms there will be all of the sets as well. So right now, the first release is going to be Knight of Martyrs, Veil of Twilight. You can go through that, like, duplicate, create your own decks. It might take a little bit of time to do it, but to do that, and we're also going to do like monthly community spotlights. And so if you guys have deck ideas of things that you want to try out and whatnot, like, we can build decks for you. And in the next update, when we do, like, each month, we'll have a community, like, new deck added to the community decks tab, so people can try out new decks from the community, which will be really cool.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. And again, it's just the biggest way to be able to connect people to actually play the tabletop RPG, or the tabletop RPG, the trading card game. And again, that's been the biggest thing. It's like people want to know how to play it. They want to actually play it, but it's like having the people to be able to play with. Like here where we are, over here where we're mainly doing it, like, we have people to play with. We have leagues going on, but this is a good step forward in getting people to learn how to play the game and playing with your friends without a huge buy-in and buying a ton of cards. But then also, like, growing the communities as well in those specific areas, and hopefully actually buying the physical cards, because the physical cards are awesome. But yeah, so we're really looking forward to that. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that too. It's kind of like the next big step in growing not only Fantasy Forge Studios LLC, but growing the Everlast as a brand, and especially, again, bringing Christ to everything, right? And so that's the whole goal of all of this. And so the more people we can reach, the better.
Let's grow this community. You guys are amazing right now. Let's just continue to keep spreading our reach and to sharing the gospel message. Absolutely. But with that, the only last thing that I can think of, since you had already mentioned, a normal week of scheduled content as far as Oblivion Remastered goes, but we also have Fragrances of the Realm and Coffee of the Realm, which is our Everlast themed coffee and scented candles. The purchase of these help to go to the creation of the art for Everlast, whether it's the TCG or role-playing game. So big special thanks to everybody who's helped and is continuing to enjoy the product. It's really helping us to continue to help Everlast grow as well. And of course, head over to our YouTube where all of our past streams for the Everlast role-playing game are. Learn how to play the TCG with videos, and listen to the Prismatic Petals and Opus 6 music videos that we have. We just released some at the beginning of May. Some new videos, Eternity and Graduation. Those are the two new songs there. And also, again, the Discord is where
they also have the English translations too. So those of you who don't speak Japanese can go into the description and actually understand what they're saying.
Exactly.
So that's pretty cool.
And then if you head over to the Discord too, outside of all the TCG stuff that is coming, that's where we post all of our going live notifications, so you know when and where we will be streaming, and we can hang out with you. Because ultimately, that's what Fantasy Forge Studios is. It's a great place and a great community for good, friendly conversation and some camaraderie in the things that we love, which is fantasy. All things fantasy, particularly Everlast. But that's going to do it for today. We're going to pray for each and every one of you. May Lamia guide you. And I will see you all on Monday or Sunday, if you're in the West, for a great new drop of the new TCG online, but also for some Oblivion Remastered. Until then, we'll pray for each and every one of you.